Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother. Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother. Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother. Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double. I don't do discussions on bragging about hundreds. Don't go to your places, I know that they sunken. Don't call me your brother. Bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Cause bitch, I got problems on problems on problems on problems on problems on problems I solve them. I run through the money, the pressure be calling. Left on my blessings, I feel like I'm falling. The birdie is back, tell me I'm garbage. I'm going through something, that's why I ain't calling. Phone and progression, it's all that I wanted. The phone in affection, I summon and dub it. Why you be all on my line about nothing? Why won't you go get you $1 or something? Don't hang with a nigga who lying for nothing. I see that we different, you riding, I double.
Yo, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to a special live stream. Something I am really excited about, and it is kind of like the plans for Destiny 2 going into year 3. Whoa, what they're showing the vaulted glass symbol. That's kind of crazy. Guys, I am joined by an awesome friend of mine, a gamer, a YouTuber, has been around for a long time. You definitely know him on Next Podcast, and of course, he is the incredible host of GRG. My brother K Mega is here. What is up, man?
What's happening? What's happening, man? It's been so long since I've interacted with you guys, man. It was just me and you right now, but I missed the next crew, but been taking care of real life situations, and so and then of course, E3's coming up this weekend. Man, I'm really stoked about that. But yeah, man, I had to get a little time in with my boy, man, so we could talk about this Destiny, which is
Nice.
odd for me, but let's do it.
Yeah, yeah, and dude, and we were talking off air, and I know like you dabbled into Destiny. I know we
Mhm.
did at least part of the original raid together, but I think it was kind of like the interaction with other gamers, like getting together to do kind of like the bigger content. That's what kind of turned you away, right?
Yeah. That the thing that turned me away the most was the fact that not only because of the content situation, but the fact that when we were doing the raids, which were fun, but they kept glitching, they kept having issues,
Mm.
and then it was just more of the thing of where we were. Everybody was trying to be. It was too many Chiefs, not enough Indians. And I didn't know what I was doing, so I'm listening. So I'm kind of like, hey, what's going on? But everybody getting into this, but the main thing was the fact that the game kept messing up, and I mean we did that for hours,
Yeah,
hours,
yeah.
hours, and I'm like, man, I'm enjoying the experience, but I mean I just want to fulfill this goal of finishing it, and it just didn't come to the light. But
Mm.
yeah, no, I'm actually interested. I mean, I'm invested into both Destinies. I bought them both with the DLC for the most part. Well, I should take that back. My boy Blades got me the second one, and then I went ahead and I got the DLC for the second one. But if this one is going to be cool, if three is great, I'll give it another chance, man. I'm always about gaming on something, so, and especially with my people, so
Nice.
you can do it.
Dude, I'm checking this out right now, and the interesting thing is they're showing a lot of emblems and the names of Destiny 1 raids,
Mm.
like Wrath of the Machine, Rise of Iron, the content, the expansions and stuff like that. I think they're trying to hype people up, man. Now you got to remember the cool thing about this is, and Meg, I want to hear what you think about this. This is Activision free Destiny now. This is Bungie developed, Bungie published. So, do you think that is going to mean anything different? Do you think Bungie is thinking about doing things a different way now that they're not under, kind of like the shackles of Activision as their publisher?
Yeah, I believe so. I think that would be smart for them. I think we'll actually see who were the main protagonists that was the ones that made Destiny to be loved or hated.
Mm,
I think that you know we know how Activision is with their money grabbing ways, with it being so money hungry, and maybe there was some other things invested into it with PlayStation being a part with them as well with the crossplay and things like that. We'll get to see what Bungie can do. I mean, some people think that Bungie is a shell of themselves, and other people think that it was Activision that was the one to be to blame. So I'm pretty interested. I'm pretty interested.
nice,
I want
nice.
Bungie to do well to be, but because I mean, the makers of Halo. So I mean, you gotta have love for them. You can't
Mm.
ask for them
And
to
and
fall.
and basically, Destiny is the game that Bungie left Microsoft in order to make. You know what I'm saying? Like they
Mm-hmm.
wanted to do a different game. They I believe they put little symbols and emblems and kind of like Easter eggs into Halo Reach about Destiny. So this is something they definitely wanted to make. I feel like Activision got in there, and of course, when it comes to microtransactions, basically making money, Activision will definitely kind of like shadow over the developer and make sure that there are additional ways to create revenue and to get paid with the games.
Right, yeah, and that mean, look, it's just like what you were saying. I mean, yeah, our boy Don Matrick, and just with that staff, at the end they didn't really look at Halo as a property that was going to keep going. They wanted to cut it off. I think that interview that they had with Bonnie Ross was pretty telling. It's pretty interesting on that end. But yeah, I mean, just to think of Bungie wanting to do Destiny, but in the Halo form, that would have been amazing. But I mean, you got to give it to Bungie for doing this, and then for Activision to believe into this growth of this franchise. And now you just see that it's popular. It's lost its way in a couple of senses, but it seems like after that last DLC, a lot of people have jumped back on board. And even though I have to eat a little crow on this, I thought that games like Anthem and the Division was going to kind of stomp the fire out for the game. But Destiny's still here, and I think there's going to be a lot of people that's going to be surprised about it. So that's why I'm here too, just to find out what we're going to see. I mean, am I going to get back on the bandwagon, or if it's going to be like, yeah, well. So.
Well, dude, a couple things supposedly leaked out about what they're going to be showing today. And from what I hear, it's going to be an expansion. So you're going to get a story, right? And that's after this season. The season of Opulence is over. So we're looking at I think about September. So kind of like rolling into the holidays. One of my biggest questions, though, is if they're doing an expansion, are they doing the season pass type stuff that they did this time around? Now, I know you said you got the DLC. Do you remember, was the DLC, was it the Forsaken DLC?
No, that's the one that, like I said, after I see what's going on here, then that's when I'll get Forsaken. Because for me, it's like I played and we did what we did, and then I was kind of like, you know what, I'm kind of done with Destiny, man. I mean, it's just not my thing. But I've heard so much good things about Forsaken, and it got me to like, maybe I might give it another chance. But then I was like, nah. But I am kind of looking forward, like I said, to see what Bungie is going to do with the future of Destiny. And if that's the case, then I want to keep going on with the story. So I have no choice but to get the rest of the DLCs.
Yeah, and like you said, like there were games that were coming out like Anthem, Division 2, which I know Division 2 is still like incredibly popular when it comes
Division
to
2. I mean, Anthem is great too. I think it is unfortunate that it launched the way that it did, and a lot of people kind of got frustrated with it, and didn't kind of get frustrated.
They definitely got frustrated.
They definitely got frustrated with it, and then on top of that, the whole mantra of EA just had this black cloud over them, and just anything that they do is just amplified by 10. So it just was just a bad look. And then on top of that, the Cataclysm, it's got delayed until July or a little bit further.
But dude, what they showed from the Cataclysm is nothing. It's nothing like what they originally
I know, and it pains me, but I mean, I've enjoyed Anthem so much. The game has fantastic potential. I mean, I put in about 100 hours into it. And I'm looking forward to more, but like I said, I have to eat the crow. I mean, I just was like, hey man, Destiny is going to fall off, but man, it's still holding strong, man. So
we got about 1 minute to go. I want to give a huge shout out to everybody hanging out with us, checking out this live stream, getting a hold of this live reaction, checking out the new content. I do know in the community there are some diehard Destiny fans out there, and I know there's a lot of you guys that could care less. But when it comes to new content, this is getting me in the mood for E3 and everything.
Okay, don't we need snaps for that?
Oh, she's coming back tonight from Florida, brother. I gotta go pick her up at the airport.
Nice. Yeah, I seen her out there. I was like, okay, doing her thing, man.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had the house to myself for a few days. You know what I'm saying? The kids were at their grandma's, all that good stuff. I had to work still, but I got in like almost 11 hours in one day for the new season of Destiny that just dropped. And dude, I am absolutely loving it. But here we go. Bungie is ready to go. As this is starting off, I wish I could get my water, man. I didn't get my water.
Well, I mean, they're going to start talking about it, so.
Yeah, I know, right?
Yeah. So you might have time to go and run off right fast.
I'm gonna run real quick, guys. I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, Luke and Mark.
Good morning, everyone. I'm Luke.
And I'm Mark, and we're coming here live
Bungie Studios, yeah.
It is. If you've been on the internet the last few days, it is the leakiest ship on the internet.
It's true.
So what we've got
I have no idea who any of these people are.
You can see,
So people in the chat, please let me know. I don't know.
we're going to talk about Destiny 2.
You sound great, brother. You sound great.
Thank you. I was introducing Luke and Mark. I said I have no idea who all these white people
we got a
are.
trailer going. Yes, we are going back to the moon, people.
Always brings us back to the past. Can you feel them? I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon.
Eris Morn.
Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance.
Don's saying that the sound is low.
All right, Don.
They rise again.
Figures Don would be picky.
Oh yes.
And in
Don
the
has been a
dark
diva
below,
about audio here lately.
something wicked
It's the darkness.
has awakened.
Oh, they're coming back. Huh?
Oh.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or another.
So the
September
question on everyone's
17th.
mind, since Bungie's gone truly independent and is in complete control of Destiny's future. We're publishing the game now. We're an independent company.
Sound like they're starting over again.
What's the plan? Where are we headed?
So the way that we talk about where we're headed is like the way we've talked about over the years is what's the vision for what we're trying to do. And so the vision for Destiny going forward, the Destiny franchise
Yo,
is
what is
contained in
up?
three
Our brother
parts.
Mooch
The first
is
part
in the
is
chat with
being
everybody
an
else.
awesome
What's
action
going
What's
on,
up,
man?
Mooch?
Yeah,
What's
you know,
happening?
we've been worried about that term for a long time. We've shied away from using that.
MMO.
Yeah, because it comes with a lot of baggage. It's like, does that mean it's a subscription game, or you got to play with a mouse and keyboard, or whatever? But like, man, this is one of those things. We're on our own now, and it walks like a duck, quacks like a duck. It's a duck. Like we can accept the fact that this is what the game
There's
is.
like duck emojis
talking
out in the
about
chat right
ducks,
now.
people.
But like when we say MMO, we don't mean like subscriptions. We don't mean subscriptions. We do mean two things. The first part where we're lacking right now, and we've been getting better. Forsaken certainly adds to it, is improving the RPG.
Yeah, we really, want deeper build customization for our players and for your
The
characters.
one thing about
You're creating
Destiny,
these
I will
monster
say,
creations
over
that make them
everything
their own,
else that
and we
that
can do
I
a lot
like,
more there.
So a bunch of what we're doing
Anthem
this fall
and
is gonna be about
Division,
adding
etc.
the stats back into
Destiny's
the game,
customization
RPG
is
game
top
more
notch.
than
It's
it
the
was.
best.
And
That
D2
is
launched
by
away,
far the
Forsaken
truth.
improved it, and we think
100%.
Shadow Keep's
Their
gonna take that kind of
customization
to
is
the next
fantastic.
level.
And for them to
The
say
second
that
part about what we mean when
they
we
want to
say
do
RPG
more with their
is really important to
customization
us.
is
It's about improving
just
social.
that's epic.
Like this
That's
is the
real
place
good
where
to hear.
it can be hard to find
Yeah,
grouping.
dude, my
it can be
eyes
hard
are
to make
like
friends
glued
in
right
Destiny.
now, even though it's
And
just
what
two
we've been
guys
saying
talking. I heard
for
deeper
years, as we've been like
customization. I'm like,
dodging
what?
the MMO term, is like it's a game best played with your friends. And so this is one of the things that on the long horizon of the Destiny franchise, like we have to improve the social game.
Yeah, and I just want to take a moment to say, this isn't changing anything about the core action game of Destiny. Like, it is so fun and amazing to shoot monsters in their heads, get headshots, and see their souls escaping their body, and you slip behind cover. Like, at its core, Destiny is an action game. But we're also not afraid to say it's an action MMO, and that's where we're headed. We're taking steps there this year.
And so part one of the vision, awesome action MMO. Part two of the vision for Destiny going forward is a single evolving world. And we have been close to the mark in some ways and far off in others. The way we've been close is stuff like what happened in Forsaken when Raid Team goes into the Dreaming City, they kill Riven, and they launch this Dreaming City cycle that like transforms the world. And we think that's awesome, and we want to do more things like that.
When the community gets to come together and discover secrets and solve problems,
Action
and push the
MMO.
world forward and push that narrative forward, that's when the game really feels like it's not a game, but a real world.
That whole
Like
Riven
the-
thing
like
that they were
for people
talking
who don't
about
know
was the raid
some
for
of where I
Dreaming
came
City.
from, like in my time
And
in my
it
time in
started
WoW,
this
the
whole
Scarab Lord
curse
Gates opening event was this
in
moment
that
that brought
part
these huge
of the
communities
map.
together.
I've never heard of that.
It was like it's like a 3-week
It became this
cycle.
awesome
and it kept
event. And I think the
looping
potential
over.
of what we're trying to do with
It's
Destiny
sick, dude.
is create moments like that.
And I wonder
that,
now, since
create
they're
bonds
not
between
with
players and
Activision
let
anymore, will
players
they
work together to
be?
change the world.
Are they
Third
not
part
as
of the
hindered
vision
as they
here
once
is
were to
play it anywhere.
push out their content
we want you to
at
be
a
able to play
timely
Destiny
manner? Can they
anytime,
actually take
anywhere
their
with your friends.
time and then bring even
we're
more
definitely gonna
content
take
when they
steps
drop
here this
something
year.
after
Like,
when they come to
First
Destiny
one?
3.
Well,
That's
I don't know
another
which
thing
first you
question that
wanna
I
do,
have
like,
as
we're just
well.
coming
Because
off of
I
the
think that
Stadia-
if these
the Stadia
developers have more time
announcement, which is our
to
partnership
spend with their
Google.
craft and
Yeah,
to
so
make
with Stadia,
if they really
Destiny 2 is
want
coming to Stadia
to
this
change
year,
it up and make
which
it
is going to be
their
awesome
their
because
real
it
baby
means you're gonna
without
be able
any
to play
restrictions,
Destiny
I think that's a
anywhere you
good
have a
thing
Chrome
for the game.
browser with their controller, and that's
What do
going
you
to be
think?
just
Well,
incredible. for our
I hear him
community,
talking about
you know?
Stadia
You're not
right
gonna have to
now.
lug
Like,
your PS4 home to your
I
mom's
let
place
you
at
in on a
Christmas anymore,
couple
you know,
things
because
that
they're
they might be
selling one
announcing.
mask or
Yes.
whatever. Like,
So when
that's
I
not a
heard him
promise.
say
You know what's been
Stadia,
talking
I
about this
kind
all
of
the
just
time?
switched
It's
right
Scott
to that. I'm
Taylor
like,
constantly talking
they
about
said
where he's gonna
Stadia
play.
ready.
Can't wait to play on my. It just lists a litany of devices that he wants to play. He wants to play Destiny on, and like, he's just
And that
super
story's just cracked wide open with Stadia. So we're super excited about that because it lets you literally play anywhere.
So it's a great fit for the vision. And then the next thing, do you want to just jump? Like we have like our set list that we're moving through. And so the next thing on the list, there's been a little bit of talk about over the last like 24 hours. Like maybe you want to talk about cross save.
So yeah, cross save is coming to Destiny.
here we go,
2
cross
finally.
save, baby.
And we're super
That's gonna
excited about
be
that. What cross save
fantastic.
is
That's
about
good for any
taking
game.
Guardians that you've created and being able to play them on any platform. And we are super excited about that. And we know fans have been asking for a long time. And contrary to maybe what you've heard on the internet, because I just want to be super clear about this, cross save is coming to all
Platforms.
all
Yeah.
of them.
Moose, you hear
PlayStation,
that? You can take your
Xbox,
Guardians to the PS4,
PC, and Stadia.
to the Xbox One,
And,
to
There's some
Stadia,
people
to
clapping in the
PC.
studio.
We do
xCloud.
not have an applause
All
line.
of
It's
it.
just the enthusiasm of the
Yeah.
team.
Woo!
So we're super excited about that. And Bungie and Sony are working together to ensure that cross-save is coming to PS4 when Shadowkeep launches.
For
Wow.
like years, we would go to do interviews with companies. We'd like dodge this question so many times about like, which platform do you play on? Which platform should you play
Play
on?
wherever
Now
your
you don't
friends
need to
are.
worry
Our,
about
like, our
which
answer has
platform.
always been like, we're gonna like message back to like, the best place to play Destiny is where your friends are. But cross save makes that statement actually true because you can go from PC to PS4 and wherever you want to play the game, wherever your group's rating
It's like
is
they're
where
not
you can
allowed
play.
to
You've
say
probably
Xbox.
seen reports on
Hey,
the
hey,
internet.
hey,
and
well,
they
really,
may be different for this.
Destiny 2
There's
is
a reason
still
we do the
under-
shows live.
It's still under
Yeah, they say they're-
PlayStation.
Yeah, they're working with Sony.
It's for
and
us,
stuff
like,
like
saying,
that.
Yeah,
back
their
and forth.
marketing rights is still with
So the
them.
next thing on our list here,
Yeah.
let's talk about.
Yeah, like
a new entry point.
when we think of anytime, anywhere, that third part of the vision, cross save, Stadia, those are parts of it. But we have some real barriers to making that totally true and really.
Don, we don't want to
making
hear
that
from
a reality.
Google. We want to hear from
When
these
Forsaken
guys.
came out
all
last
right?
year, for instance, look in the first-party stores. There's like.
I mean, but that's a
9
big
different
deal for
versions of the
Stadia for
game.
them to come
You need,
out. I
like,
mean,
some kind of
they're the
decoder
big
ring to
babies
figure
in
out what you're supposed to
getting
purchase.
into the gaming
It's like
business.
just way
So
too confusing to figure out what you're supposed
that's
to
a
buy.
huge grab getting Destiny.
So the reason our answer to this like big problem is, what if we just create a free entry point for the game and create a brand new way for players to
entry point.
a brand newish way for players to enter the universe, but there's still this problem of, oh gosh, I've got like 40 hours of game to play. I've got to like get through these campaigns, which are cool, but that's not really the part of the game that matters if you're playing for
Like,
hardcore reasons.
In the season of Opulence, Menagerie just came out. It's a 6-player match-made activity. It's awesome.
Oh, yeah.
I love playing it. But if I'm going to recommend it to a friend who's not playing Destiny, it's like, well, you got to buy this version of the game, then you buy this other version of the game, then you got to play all that. And I'm not going to play with you because you're doing old stuff. And so it's going to take, it becomes hard to recommend.
So
we need to fix that.
So the answer to this problem is New Light, where once you enter New Light,
Wow,
10,
that
15,
new
20
light
minutes,
is crazy.
you now
Hold on,
arrive
I'm
at the
just
part of
hearing
the
it
game
now.
that matters
Okay.
to you and your friends, where you're like jumping into Gambit, Crucible, etc. This is about crushing the barriers between friends and making it. a
And
game
it's
where
free?
There's something awesome happening in Destiny. I'm gonna go check it out. And New Light's
Whoa.
totally free.
It's free. You download New Light, create this character. Within 15 minutes, you're playing Gambit
That's
with
pretty
your
damn
bros,
awesome.
running around the EDZ and discovering lost sectors. Like, you're having a really fun time.
So the other part of this handshake is the way we're thinking about selling. the game.
Taking shots at
We've, for
Activision.
years had this like compounding purchase model, even something like the annual pass, which I think we've learned a bunch from, and we have plans for how we're going to iterate on it over time. It meant that up front you had to spend $35 rather than maybe purchasing things a la carte, and that strategy is a strategy that we're changing now that we're in control.
Yeah, if you think of New Light like
So this is kinda like a-
baseline,
a
we're thinking of our
free-to-play
content kind of
model
like, atomic
ish
packages that go on
way?
top of that. So Destiny 2 Shadowkeep is completely standalone. It's an expansion pack and it's standalone. It's an expand-alone, I guess is what you would call it.
You don't need to play Forsaken. You don't need to play Curse of Osiris, Warmind. You don't have to have played Drifter. No.
Oh,
You
wow.
jump right in. But we want to do that with seasons too. And so going forward, our seasons, you're going to be able to jump in and have a great free experience, and that's awesome. But if you want that, access to some of the premium content, you can jump in and buy that season, season 8 separately from season 9.
Oh,
So another part
they're going to be selling the season separately. Thank you.
Questions around things like exclusive content.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Like it's
exclusive weapons,
right, and then with that new light,
those things
what's really cool is that they're going to be able to, for the people like me who hasn't gone through everything,
jump in and
I can
we
just
can
play
rock
15
gambit
minutes,
and stuff
get
like
to that new light, and I jump in, and that part is free.
So we want
That's really cool. And like I said, they took shots at Activision saying that they were restrained. So
no exclusive
there you go.
gameplay things like exotic weapons. We're not doing any of that stuff going
Bot
forward.
Stradamus has struck again, man.
There's one more thing that I'm going to share before we're done is that this year, Destiny 2 on PC needs to find a new home.
Some would say we need to find an Epic partner.
Epic is going to be their partner, I
so
bet.
we need to find a new home, and
no, it's coming to
because we're self-publishing
Steam.
Destiny now, and we're truly on our own. And so Destiny 2 is going to be coming to Steam. And
Wow.
This means that, anyone currently playing Destiny 2, they're going to be able to come over to Steam,
the battle
free
between
of charge.
Steam and
They're
Epic
gonna
is
continue
real on
their
PC
accounts.
right now.
They're going to continue all their possessions going to move over, any licenses they had, any DLC, like whatever. It all comes over. And Shadowkeep, the D2 expansion that's coming out this fall, is going to be shipping exclusively on Steam this year.
Oh wow,
It's
they're
kind of
getting
like when you
Shadowkeep
relocate for a
exclusive
job,
on Steam.
and they relocate you, and like a van shows up at your house and loads all your stuff, and then takes it. And you show up at your new house, and it's all there. But this time we're gonna like unpack it and move you over to Steam.
How exactly this is all going to happen, there's going to be a website on BungieNet somewhere that describes it in more detail. But we want the transition to be really seamless for players and a really good experience.
So a thing that we want to try to do to wrap all of this up is like do the Instagram cut down version of everything we just talked about in like 20 seconds. So the vision for Destiny going forward is pretty simple. It's an awesome action MMO in a single evolving world that you can play anywhere. By playing anywhere, that means cross-save across all of our platforms. We have a new platform that we're adding this year, Stadia. We have a new entry point for the game called Destiny 2 New Light, which is free. And everything we add to the game is going to be purchased a la carte going forward. So Shadowkeep, Season 8. Let's say in Season 8 we start to lay the foundation for some changes we want to make to PvP, but it doesn't tempt you to come back yet. Well, maybe in Season 9 we'll have something that's going to make you want to come back for sure. No more exclusives going forward for us in terms of gameplay and armor and weapons.
No more
and if you're playing the game
exclusives!
on PC,
Oh!
we're moving you to Steam.
It's over.
It's kind of like
No more
that's
exclusive
that's the end of the
exotic
set
weapons,
list. The
armor,
encore, if we're carrying the music
strikes,
thing forward,
anything like that.
is this
all
awesome?
I think
even
it's more than
across
an
the board.
encore.
Yeah, actually, we're the opening act.
Yeah, they've been watching two dudes talk to you for 12 minutes or whatever.
So the main event.
This is
coming
really
up. That was behind
impressive,
us getting ready.
and this also
But first,
shows
let's take a
how
look
much
at the new
power the
Vidoc
publisher has
Out of
over
the
these
Shadows.
developers. That's crazy.
Oh my goodness. All right, so they're calling this Vidoc out of the shadows.
This really is the beginning of a new era, and I think beginning is an important part of that sentence.
This is the first time I think that, in a long time that Bungie has stood kind of on its own.
And we're self-publishing. It's a really big deal.
I am so excited right now. This is insane.
There's a huge opportunity here for us to really make our own decisions.
It's a turning point for us. We are in charge of our own destiny.
Mooch,
It's
I don't
empowering
think
and
they said
terrifying
when
at
the
same
cross save actually
There are only
starts.
two
It
groups
might
who are going to
be
decide
when
what happens to Destiny next.
Shadowkeep drops.
Bungie and the players who play Destiny.
Yeah, so probably September 12th. I think that's when Shadowkeep is coming.
Yeah. Either that or because I don't know when Stadia is officially gonna be available either. The darkness is closer than you think.
Well, they say Stadia is supposed to start in like November, at the end of the year sometime, and then it really kicks off 2020 maybe.
All right.
I don't know.
Oh my goodness. Hell's Mouth!
So at its core, Shadowkeep is about returning to the
Damn,
moon.
you know the names and everything. I
We
remember
haven't been
seeing
to the
it.
moon in a while since Destiny 1, and a lot's changed.
And dude, I didn't even get into Destiny 1.
I liked Destiny 1. It's just that
go back, it isn't exactly
the
what you thought
DLC
it was.
just
There's like
killed
huge
it for me.
cracks ripped into it. There's a weird Scarlet Fortress, and so the context of the moon has been updated entirely.
This isn't just about the hive anymore. It's about something else, something
Darkness.
terrifying.
What the?
The moon this time around is something really scary that is playing on your fear in a way that hasn't happened before. Before it was, oh, it's a big giant thing and it's scary, but now there's actual like some psychological elements to that.
How long has it sat in silence, watching us?
Much too long.
Having Eris Morn come
Eris
back
Morn,
instantly signals
baby!
to players the tone shift and change.
There's an undertone of threatening and psychological horror.
You're all insufferable!
We want to tap into what makes Guardians afraid. What are their worst fears?
Shadowkeep refers to the things that Eris unleashed on the solar system. Nightmares are manifestations of a Guardian's past.
What if the villains that you thought were well into the ground actually weren't, and they were being resurrected by the darkness?
What?
It's kind of like what I said in the beginning of the show, is that I think that they're going to try to go back to the roots and try to fix the wrongs from the first one.
Or the beginning of the second.
Yeah,
Like
can't just
there as
kill
well.
them and make them
right. So
What if you can't do all of the things that you've
They're
grown
resurrecting
accustomed to doing?
Old, oh
Being
my
unable
goodness.
to
Yeah,
achieve
yeah,
what you're
'cause I
trying to
mean,
achieve, no matter how hard you
it
try.
makes sense.
Players, they think we can deal with this. We killed Crota, like we killed Oryx. Like, no big deal, right? Well, you're gonna get there and you discover it's a bigger deal than you even thought it could be.
The darkness is actually a lot closer than you realized.
Now you know my suffering.
Okay, Bungie. Hey, Don, we might have to revisit Destiny, man. We might have to revisit Destiny, man. This is intriguing.
It's been a
is
year,
intriguing.
basically, of just a constant two-way dialogue with
Wow.
all of our passionate players.
The darkness is resurrecting
That's really informed
past, like,
what it is that players
boss
want out
villains.
of the Destiny game and how we're
Oh
evolving.
my goodness.
Not just the story of the world, but what happens to you as a Guardian.
Like the thing that was supposed to blow you back or whatever, it's related to acceleration.
A bunch of the work that we're doing is about adding depth to the character sheet. You know, the teams are thinking about how do we want to
Now, see,
evolve
Mega,
armor,
this, like,
get more
the-
stats
the-
into the
the
game,
lore
get
and
more
the
player
story
customization.
underneath all
How
of
can
it,
we
I
get
think
the
that's
depth of
what-
pursuit for
when
how
you're talking
you
about,
want
like,
to play
games like
with this awesome
Anthem,
character you've been
Division 2
building
coming
now
in
for
and stuff like
you know
that.
some of us 5 years.
And like
The
completely new
story
ways of
here, I
deepening
think, is what gets
the like
people
character
to come
RPG
back all
that
the time.
we all
The
know and
world,
love
the
and want to
atmosphere,
be
the
better.
enemies.
Well, yeah, no, I get that. I get that. It's just that it was the model of, I guess, how, like, we're from what we're understanding from the developers, what Activision was doing was
In
actually
Shadowkeep, we are
hurting the
fundamentally
game
evolving
more
the
than it
systems
was
and moving the
benefiting.
world forward.
And so now when they're doing all of this, it's piqued my interest of that, you know, the crossplay, the cross save, the situations of where they're getting more in depth with the story, and really, like I said, it seems like it's a reboot, which actually got me more excited about Destiny for the fact, because there's so much that I've missed from playing one and then playing that DLC right after that, and then not playing it for a couple of years, and then going back and then playing two, and then being at that point. So to kind of like seem like it's a reboot is because that's what it sounds like to me. It sounds refreshing. So,
Armor 2.0
I mean, like, yeah, I got no problem with coming back. I just want to know what, you know, I kind of, yeah, and then I can take my experience to the PlayStation into PC as well, and not have to worry about restarting it. That part right there is a winner. That is a winner. Yeah,
Personally, I'm
that is
excited
a
about
fucking
the
winner.
artifact. Players just get to kind of like.
I'm trying to
fidget with
look at
these
the
knobs and
computer
switches
screens
and
in
do
the
all the things
background
that
and
they
stuff
wanna
like
do.
that, because
When we get to this last
they're
tier,
leaving
each
stuff
of these
for
perks
people to see.
gets relatively
Yeah.
close to what an exotic might feel like. That's going to be a lot of fun. Going to be a lot of fun.
Yo, huge shout out to the chat. I want to know what you guys are thinking
Finishing
so
moves
far
are
about
a new
this
thing
content.
for
Is it
Shadowkeep.
looking
What's your
like
favorite?
something you
I mean,
might
there's some crazy
want
ones
to get
for
into?
the hunter. This awesome flourish where he actually does like spin in front of him, has two knives.
Yeah,
and just
Mooch,
hits
it might be
all-
time. Don, it might,
like,
like I
what
said,
the
Don, it
heck?
might be time.
What game is
Now,
this?
you know, the Division story is fantastic,
Yeah,
and
Titan
it has
finisher,
its own
jumps in the
lore,
air,
like I said,
goes
but
back, looks at his fist, and
Anthem still has more work to do. I'm not gonna give up on Anthem. Hopefully, BioWare is not going to give up
There's
on
so
them
many
either.
different ways to dunk. You can
But Destiny is
behind the back,
definitely
360 cartwheel, whatever.
sealing the deal for themselves. That's for sure.
End game is the game.
Yeah.
We're in the playtest lab every day, trying to figure out what's good for the game, what do people want, what have they been asking for, trying new ideas.
So I want to try. I added radar hiding.
Let me know how it feels to get shot by the heavy bow.
An exotic heavy
I
bow.
am working on an exotic heavy bow.
Boo.
And I'm just working on figuring out some knockback.
A
trying to
heavy
see
bow?
How big
Like
this,
heavy
okay,
ammo?
that's
Bad.
probably
Yeah,
too
it
much.
just shot him out.
But you get the idea. This is an exotic trace rifle. Fire it on an enemy and it creates a big old crit spot.
Oh.
Here's a hand cannon that Victor's working on. It fires special ammo, and it's a little bit like a one-handed sniper.
Like, it's actually our only hand cannon with a scope on it. Right now,
It's a hand
it kinda
cannon
lights
with
you
a
on fire
scope?
if you keep firing it too much. We'll see. Some people like it, some people are kind of but we'll hammer it all out.
All right, it's time. It's about to get loud in here. 1v1. 1v1 on the board.
One of the things we really want to focus on, especially with Season 8 and the start of Shadowkeep, is a renewed focus on PvP.
You're all on the other team.
We're updating labs
Oh.
to include some much
That was
loved
Thorn, the
game
hand
types
cannon
from the
behind me.
past. We're also redoing a bunch of the playlists and how they work. But the really important thing for players to know is this is just the beginning. This is us building the foundation of what we're doing with the Crucible going forward.
Previously, you would have a 20, 40, 60-hour climb before
That's
you
what's
could
going
do
to draw
what's
people
considered
like me to
in-game
come in.
content. And now you can pretty much do that immediately.
To come back.
We want you to feel like
Yo,
you're
shout
in
out
the
to the
end
Matrix
game
Gamer.
from
He
the
said
moment you
Q2
step
was a
on the
bit
planet.
disappointing to me after I played it for a bit, but what he is seeing
Leveling up your guardian
fixes
and becoming more powerful,
what he
overcoming
wanted.
dungeons, overcoming raids.
Yeah, I think.
Oh,
I
look
think
at that!
Yeah.
For the raid, we
I
had
think
multiple
I totally agree with
destinations
you.
that we
You
were
know what I'm saying,
considering.
Matrix
Black Diamond
Gamer.
was, like,
It's
immediately top
it's
of
got
the
me.
list.
It's got me really intrigued. You know, it's got me wanting to play Destiny again.
Oh my goodness.
With Forsaken, we started finding more ways for players to customize and personalize their character and differentiate themselves. Shadowkeep's going to push even further in that direction.
What?
The word, which is really guiding us in a bunch of ways, is depth. It's about experiential depth. When we look at how we're thinking about the next 3-5 years, it's really important to us.
It's cool to have a game that you can invest in with your friends, tweak your monster killing machine and make it 2% better every weekend, doing different things and figuring out how to craft this perfect build that you feel like is your own. Like, that is cool. There's nothing nerdy about it. We're like happy to own that. We're gonna stand on that corner.
As things change, if the game doesn't feel like it's changing to meet the new
Abacab, what is up,
landscape,
brother?
just
Good
all
to
fall
see you
down. Part
in
of
the
our
chat.
DNA is finding different ways to bring people together. We needed a way to crush the barriers between friends.
We all have friends who could play
if
Destiny,
September
who are
wasn't the
interested
mark
in it,
of,
but then we think about
eventually,
recommending it, like, oh
weather's
man,
gonna
you're
get
gonna have to play
colder and
about 40
everything. I'd
hours
be
by
like, let's
yourself,
skip
and then you
these
gotta pay all
couple
this
months.
money,
Let's go
and
straight to
you know,
September.
maybe you should just play something else, and that can't be the story. We need an entry point for your friends to be able to get into Destiny.
This is just simply about bringing people together to make it easy for players to enter this universe.
There's a new entry point coming out in September called New Light, and New Light is a free-to-download experience.
We're going to start off in the same place where Guardians first came into the world.
Guardian. Guardian? Eyes up, Guardian. It worked.
This is a reboot, man. This is a reboot. It's starting you back in the same spot in the beginning.
It's not going to break orbit, but it just might get us to the
That
city.
is insane.
It's as easy
Yeah.
as come in, make a character, play the amazing introduction to the game.
You're trying to shake off that Activision-ness.
That's exactly what
And
they're
then we'll set them
doing.
loose to open up the world as they see fit.
And have sort of an array of potential in front of you.
You can just start playing the game and get into some of the same activities that.
Hey Mooch,
your
I'll
friends might be
answer that
playing.
question for you. Mooch will play
The campaigns from
on whatever
D to
he
Year
wants
1,
at that
Blood
point
War,
in
Curse of
time.
Osiris, Warmind.
Every world we have will be available.
Yeah, I'll
for them
definitely
to
be
explore,
be
to
on
free roam,
on
to
this
do
on
bounties
everything that I got.
Every
So
cooperative strike,
if
playing with friends,
you know,
matchmaking, every
looking
competitive
forward for the Xbox,
multiplayer match,
PlayStation
the
for
D2
sure. I
year
mean
one raids
Xbox
like
and
Leviathan.
PC for sure. But if I could run it with a crew on
Access
PlayStation, I'll
to
definitely do that
Gambit,
too. But
the hybrid mode that we have,
yeah,
all
no,
these things are available.
that's the game
for
changer right there. That the new light and the saves is.
Dude, when Destiny 2 came out,
We've always
this
said
is
that
something
Destiny
that
is
you would
best
never
when
even
you play it with your
think
friends.
they
and
would do.
We're trying to make it
No,
easier.
but
So
it was something
if
that
your
needed
friends
to
who are
be
playing
done.
Destiny
So
on
yeah, you know
different
what I'm saying. But
platforms,
and then
we're
also with the
adding
cross
cross-save
play.
so that you
I
can
mean,
move
with the
between
cross
different
save, I don't
platforms
know
wherever your
if
friends
we're going to
are.
have cross
Like,
play,
if I'm
but
playing and I want to move over to my PC.
that's
that's
huge.
Me. We
That's
want
real
Destiny to
huge.
meet you wherever you want to play.
They're kind of starting a new wave of how games
We wanted
should
cross
be.
save before we shipped
So,
Destiny 2, right? Like
I can't
a bunch
wait.
of it was built. We just couldn't get there for capital R reasons.
Capital R reasons.
And many of those reasons have disappeared. So we are.
They
headed
wanted
full
to
steam
do
ahead on that
cross-save
one. We gotta
for
figure out how
Destiny
we're gonna
2, but
get
they
there
were
and how we're gonna
stopped.
give the players what they want.
Well, they were stopped by PlayStation, right?
Yeah.
Or was it? Yeah, they were stopped by PlayStation, and then well, I should say Sony.
Our original vision for Destiny was a world that would evolve and change.
What the hell
But-
is that?
Really hard into
But
that. because
Activision
we believe
is
that's where the future of
man.
Destiny is.
If anybody from Activision is seeing this, they're pretty
The
hot
long
right
horizon for
now.
Destiny is to become an evolving world.
They
You know,
plan
so
this.
between
They
see
plan
what's
this
gonna happen
out
next.
right.
I mean, they should have just let Bungie
We
do
can
what, like,
completely build
let
Destiny
the
in the
developers
vision that
decide
we want
what
it
they're
to
going
be
to do
in.
with their
A
game.
vision that isn't
But
dictated by
Activision's always
a
been money
commercial
hungry.
model
That's
or a business
that's
plan,
always
but
been
our
their
creative
biggest
vision
problem.
of
And
what
now
we
I
wanna
think that
do
they're
for
actually
our
starting to see
players,
something.
what they want us
Now
to
that
do
we're
with
starting to
Destiny.
see what they're going to do with the new COD by taking away the season pass.
feel like
I
our work
think
isn't
it's a freight train
We
that's
have a
coming
series
that
of missions
that
that
all
we
these
finish
companies eventually
before
is
I
going to
think we
have
have
to
Destiny in the place
accept
that
and
it
it's
needs
going to
to
have to
be, and
take.
we're
And
back
if you
to,
see
I guess,
COD,
finish the
which is
fight,
probably the
so to
you know when
speak.
Activision the most greedy, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. It started with Halo 5 by even implementing it, by implementing the taking away the season pass, but then it just even moves even further to seeing Battlefield 5 do it.
Welcome,
now Destiny,
gamers,
COD.
to the Q&A
Man.
portion of the
Dude,
stream.
we said it
Someone's very
before.
enthusiastic back
We're
there.
sitting at a point in
There we go. There's a
time
bunch more enthusiasm.
in console gaming and the gaming
Welcome to the
industry
Q&A
as a
portion of the
whole,
stream. If you
where
know who I am,
things are
you're
just
probably fairly
changing.
familiar with me doing Q&A
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
If
the
you
new
don't know
wave
who
is
I am,
coming.
I'm
There's no doubt about
here to
it.
embarrass
It's
myself
great.
in front
It
of
keeps us
thousands of
all
people for the
interacted
second
more.
time in
I
a
mean, you know what I'm
week.
saying? I mean, if you really think
And
about
I'm
it, I
also
mean,
your
that
personal
you
Destiny
got friends,
search
if you
engine.
got
Most
multiple
people just call me
consoles
Datto.
or platforms, however
I
you want
have
to
a lot
call
of
it,
these,
whatever,
by the way. I
that
don't
you
think I have
can,
time to read all of them.
you got
I'm
friends
here.
there on
That
the
was rough.
PlayStation, you
Really
got
loud.
friends on
I'm
PC,
here with
you have
Ben
friends on,
and Kat.
everywhere. So on Xbox, so
we're
I
gonna talk a
mean,
little story action
why not?
for Shadow
Why not
Keep.
have this?
And the first thing I'm going to start with is Eris evil? Because
Datto
she's
is
kinda
doing the
seemed
interview.
evil, but at the same time,
Datto,
like, not
he's
evil,
Destiny
like sort of in a driftery
Oh, okay.
way.
So
Talk to me.
Eris is definitely not your sterling character like Zavala or Cora. She's more complicated. She's been through a lot. And she's this enigmatic, mysterious character with tons of power. It's always on the edge of every new threat that's coming. And so she's decidedly not evil. I can say that pretty firmly. And what she is the one who's going to take us into a new threat and a new place that we have to actually investigate. Because she's come back. She's been gone for a long time. And there's been a lot of parts of the Eris story that we've gotten hints at. We've seen lore books. We've gotten seen what she did after
Mega,
the
this
tower
this
blew
type
up.
of stuff right
We knew
here,
that she
they're
went
getting
off.
into
We know that she's
lore
worked
you
in
might
Microsoft
not
for a
know.
long time.
Eris Morn
All
was
those journeys
introduced
that
in
she's
Destiny
done have brought
1.
her back to the moon. The moon that we
It
thought
was
we
the
had
Taken King
left behind. We had
expansion
killed
where
threats there.
she
She's discovered
had a
something
lot to do
even
with what was
darker
going on with
in
the
the dark
story.
below.
The Dark Below.
She is a fan
there.
favorite.
Dark Below.
I'm glad you told me that because I didn't know what was going on.
and all that.
I do like dude's jacket
Is
though.
this
The Destiny jacket, the
to
black
any
jacket.
of the events
You know what that
of
jacket?
Forsaken?
That
Is this
I
connected
believe
tomorrow?
that jacket
Are we gonna
is
see any sort of link between the two?
When you beat the raid, when the raids come out, you have a certain amount of time, usually 24 hours.
This is an Eris story.
If you're the
but,
first team to beat the raid, they give you a bunch of really cool
the Dreaming City
really
was a
cool
really
stuff.
fun
But if
way of
if your
exploring
team
the
beats
deep
the
lore of
raid
Destiny,
within
right? Like,
24 hours, then you get a special
all the curse weeks and stuff
kind of
like
like
that.
you're able to buy like
Marasav
here,
vignette.
like
So
the
this
jacket
is like
and stuff
we want
like
to do that, but
states
like for
you beat the
Eris,
raid
Like we want to
within
just
the
go
first
in there
24
and be
hours
like,
that it came
there's
out.
so much stuff. Like
Oh, wow.
you said, she's a
Okay.
super enigmatic character. Like she could totally appear to be evil. Like she uses the powers of darkness and sources all her magic from the hive.
Right.
Like
but-
why? Like what is all that?
Yeah, and she's doing it to
Abacat,
protect
when New
humanity.
Light
That is, like,
comes
her
out,
mission
man, you can
she's had for a
join
long
anybody
time. And
regardless of
you
your
think
light
back
level and
Eris's
everything
entire
like that, and
journey,
get into
what happened to
Gambit,
her
get
fire
into
team
strikes,
was like
kind of like
slaughtered
the
by
original
Cronin. She barely
raids from
survived
Destiny
and
2,
transformed herself,
and get in
she crawled
and
back to like
play,
rally
like
people
even
to
with me,
destroy
and
this
you,
threat that
like
would have
you'll be able to
consumed
get
the last city
into
and all
pretty
of
much
rest
the
of
stuff
humanity.
that I'm getting into.
And then she saw orcs was coming too, and she worked with
There was somebody that asked
forces
this
that
question on Mixer, and I think
players
that was a
and
good question to ask the chat
everyone
and
else
you,
in the city
Bot.
had no idea we were going
What
around
if
to try to stop it.
the guy that died in Forsaken? What
does
if he's
things
part of
that
the
no one else can.
darkness?
And
now.
she's doing that one.
All right, so yeah,
Cade, that's his name.
A
Yeah.
lot. I feel like eventually, just like,
oh yeah,
get
he could
over
be
it. Like,
resurrected.
Fire team's dead, but you know,
Right.
we got
If they're
Crota, right?
resurrecting
Like,
the
give it
enemies
up, lady.
that you went through and stuff like
That's
that,
just like not fair.
imagine
entirely,
if
maybe, 'cause
they
I
resurrected
know.
Cade. I hope they
I'm
would
just
leave
messing around.
Cade
Yeah.
be.
Just to go back to
You know what
Forsaken
I'm saying?
real
I know
quick,
a lot of people want him back and everything
are we
like
getting
that. But
any
if they're
hints
gonna do
of
something
like,
big, like
what's
take
going on with Aldrin?
such a
and
big
Marcel?
character
like,
out
Aldrin,
like
we kind
that,
of got like a cutscene.
just let him
and
be
then
and
it's
move
like,
on.
all right, that's it.
That would be the great. That would be the greatest. Like,
I would love to sit here and talk
to me,
about
to me, to make the
That's a
Destiny
conversation
story
for
even
another
more
time.
rich
Yeah,
is
and
that you have to have
I'm
those
gonna
type
turn
of
back to Eris on the
things
moon
implemented into the
because
game. Like,
I'm
I mean,
super excited by
I mean,
what we're
when
actually
just
gonna
when
expose.
that person
It's not
posted it
just
on Mixer, I was kind of like,
Eris
whoa,
is
that
doing
would
it
be
right now.
dope.
It's not
Like
just Destiny 3. It's not just
a
about
fan
making this
favorite,
video
a beloved character that now turns bad, and then maybe
that's too Cortana.
Remember, for people who play
but I mean, look, this is like Halo 2.5. You know what I'm saying? This game is it's its own standalone game, but it's still Halo-ish. You know, so I mean, and there's still. I mean, come on, man. I think that would be great, and then you would have the opportunity to bring them back. I mean, I think gamers would rather have that opportunity for him to come back to where so they could play him again instead of him being gone forever. Don't you think?
They're
well,
pushing out everywhere.
What do you think, chat?
Smaller stories.
Yeah. Let's throw it to the chat. Anybody who's played Destiny 2 Forsaken, you know about Cade. What happens with Cade?
Fallen have a new place
hugely popular character.
They have their own reasons for doing that.
Would you like for him to be resurrected,
divided places
and
you've
be
been
on
before,
kind of
and
like the
they're gonna change how
darker
you
side?
like
Now,
playing, you
an
Sparrow
interesting
and
thing
move
with
through
that, with
and you're gonna
like the
discover
rumors
old
of
stories
Destiny
from
3,
who knows,
which should be coming out
ago,
in 2020.
Characters that you remember, and they're going to expose.
The rumors
more of
are
what
that
actually is coming.
as a guardian,
are we going to see any potential
new
characters
you want to be on, and when you pick what side,
well, there's one of
the
my
powers
favorite
that
characters.
you
I'm
get
not going to say it though because it's
so
spoilers.
Okay, fine.
The
I'm not
Traveler
gonna tell you
and
that.
the Light,
There's a
or
ton
you could
of
pick
what this
the
character does,
darkness.
and I read through all the scripts and I thought it was really
so
awesome.
Thinking it
all
that
right,
way,
consider me intrigued.
if you pick the
I
darkness,
guess one of the
you're
final
going with
questions
Cade.
I have is
Because he's
why
resurrected
this
on
storyline
that
as
side of
opposed
things,
to
that
any other
would be
storyline that you guys might have
I'll give you that,
considered.
man. I had to do a little extra thought in there, try to bring it all together.
Like I mean, I just think that it would be it would be more compelling and draw more emphasis into the story. You know, I mean,
inside the studio.
I don't know. To me, that would give you more involved into the story. You know, having a fan favorite. And yeah, it's kind of Cortana-ish, but Cortana is really not. She's bad, but she doesn't look at herself as a villain. Kind of like she's kind of like a Thanos in a way. You see what I'm saying? So you know, she thinks she's doing things for the right to save the universe or whatever, but not so much.
In Destiny,
there's always
the Hive,
another
they don't
horizon
consider
or another
themselves
deep
evil.
depth or another
Right.
They say
entire
that death
region
is
that
love.
is not yet
Like
explored.
they literally
I consider every place
like
we go on
kill
Destiny
each
have more
other
stories
in this
that are just
world
waiting for us
over and
to
over and
like
over
find
again.
the
They
right
feel
time
like
to tell.
it makes them
Absolutely.
The moon
stronger.
has some great
And you say this
Yeah.
is not Halo-ish.
I will have some
Come on.
It's
follow-up
not.
questions related
I
to story
can't
stuff
roll
later
with
in
it,
the
man.
show.
I can't.
But that is just
I
something
think it would be
kinda
good
wanted
to,
know,
and especially
you
you get
know,
Cade back.
why
So
this one, were you
you
guys
know,
working
eventually.
on maybe other
But
storylines
that could be
that
what
maybe
tears
just didn't
a lot
work
of
out, or you
people
want
away
like,
from the
let's save that for
Traveler. It's
later,
like, I
or
love,
like,
being a part
maybe
of
we scrap
light
that all
and
together,
Right.
or
Traveler.
was it just
But
like
Cade's on this side.
this is happening, like
and that's
we want
my
to go to the moon
boy.
next, like
You know
let's
what
go.
I'm saying? Like, yeah.
Right,
that.
and that
I
could,
think
and that
the-
adds even
the passion
more
comes first, or I think we're constantly
deeper
thinking, like,
conflict.
as you said, we're
I
all
mean,
players of
deeper
this game, we're all
story
like,
within
okay,
that
yeah, what
conflict,
is happening
and then you
on
have
the moon?
even
What is
gamers
happening
picking
with these
sides
stories that
as
we've
well
been
of like, hey,
exploring
I'm
for a while,
team
and,
this, I'm team that, and it just
it's just something. It's whatever
it
is
brings
most exciting to us
builds
at any
more
given
into the
time.
lore.
and
I think
it's
that
relatable
it would
theme
work.
that we're
I think it
going
would work.
after, too.
So
I
shout
mean,
out to that
the
person on
moon
Mixer that
is
they
a
even
place
brought that up
was very
because
dear to a lot of players' hearts.
I
It's also new to a
didn't
lot of
think
other
about it.
players.
So
And so,
you
like,
know, but now
I
going into
consider
it, like, hey
you
man, you know
take
what?
your
That
best friend
sounds
back
pretty
to your
cool.
hometown. You haven't been there in 5 years, and
Yeah.
it's changed. Like,
Dude, this is
like
gonna be
what has been
insane,
torn
man.
down, what new
I
is there, what still
cannot
remains.
wait.
You're gonna
And
explore it.
the
You're gonna
funny
be like,
thing
oh, my
is,
favorite Chinese
now,
place is
Mega,
gone, and now it's an
this
organic
week
grocery
they
store.
dropped the
No,
last
I'm
season
gonna go buy
for the
all the
season
lettuce.
pass,
You know,
which is
you're
the
gonna have
season of
you're-
opulence,
it's
right?
gonna be these moments where you're gonna rediscover
This
everything.
is
and it's
a
gonna have meaning
record
for you,
time.
and
Like,
then your
it's
friend-
not
meaning
even
for
a
your friend in
week
different ways.
into it,
I think it's also really
and they're
exciting
already
on top of
talking
Light
about
too, right? Because like
the next
Moon was like the
expansion.
big destination. In
I think I can see
OD1,
why
and they're just
now,
like, okay,
though,
yes,
with all
we're
the
going
changes
there.
that they're
Or I'm gonna
doing,
bring
the
all my
new
friends
light,
there.
the-
Like,
everything
I can
like
bring
that.
anyone there.
I was even calling New Light
I
First
like
Light
that
for
they
a
brought it
while.
out there
First Light
and
was
let
the
people
big
know what's
moon
coming
map.
down
exactly.
the road.
Yeah.
You make a
Yeah,
lot
it's
of
kind of,
first
it's
lights.
kind of like they
Yeah.
watching
A
the
little bit when
filth
you're
off
running
of,
around
they're
with
watching the
Yeah.
Activision
I look
filth
forward
off
to
of
it.
them.
Nostalgia
That's exactly how
Do
this
you guys
this
have anything
feels to
else
me.
to
Like I
add
said, it's
before
like
we,
they took a couple of shots at
transition
Activision
here?
by saying that they took away from their ideas on what they really actually wanted the game to be, for one, and then two, rebooting it pretty much saying that, look, this wasn't really our true vision, or we didn't have enough time to get the vision that we wanted to be projected to the fans as it is, you know, as was displayed from when the game first was launched. So
thank you guys very, very much
you know,
for joining me.
I think they just want to try to get that taint off of them of Activision and just show, hey, look,
Don't forget to take your mug.
that's exactly what this is.
All right.
So I think it's a good thing.
Next to
I mean,
the
I think it's a good
stage,
thing. I
we
like that the
have
devs is over here got the control, and they got Steam behind them now, and
guys, I have
they're
to grill you
ready.
guys
They're
a
ready
little
to
more
get it
than the
rolling.
story guys.
So
Story guys,
I'm
yeah,
excited
let's have a
for
little
them.
fun little
I
intro.
really am.
Now we're getting into systems and the seasons and that kind of stuff, real nitty gritty. So I got to grill you guys a little bit more. So let's start with Sandbox. Sandbox changes have been limited to approximately once per season. To many people, they think these need to happen a little more frequently. Are there any plans to change that? And
I think they
are there
tweak
any
with the
barriers
Sandbox
to
too
more
much.
frequent updates?
Well, we made the commitment to do a change every season to really look
That's
at the
what they're talking
sandbox and how
about
it was
right now.
playing.
Yeah,
so
that's
we're going to
like-
keep
yeah.
that. Like we keep that. We think that's a good cadence every season. There's like some big update to the sandbox and how it's playing, make you rethink. how
Guys,
you're
I just
building your
want to
monster killing
say,
machine.
no matter
the real
any
hard part
type of
is
Destiny hate,
it takes time to do those balance updates.
This
like, we have to
game
look
is
at
going to
data,
push
the team has to
forward,
get into play
and it
tests.
is
We're
going to
looking at
thrive.
community feedback. We're like trying to isolate how we balance it. And it's, in a
Man.
game like Destiny, it's big. So it's not just like balance it
This
for
is
one
a big
activity.
day
it's like,
for
how do we
for
balance it in strikes?
Destiny
What's the
fans
impact
out
over
there,
here?
gamers
So
in general,
it takes
with
time,
the
and whenever we're taking
cross
time doing that,
progression
we're not building content.
and everything that
so
they're putting into
it's just a
this.
hard balance.
Well,
for us to
this
find,
is a
like,
big day
hey, what's
for
the right amount of focusing on balancing
developers and
tuning, what's
having
the right amount
their
about making
having
new
their
rewards
vision.
and pursuits,
In
and
my,
adding the depth
to
that
me
we
as
talked
well. I
about
think
earlier,
like look,
we
this
wanna
is
update some of the systems. and we
this
wanna,
is
like,
you know,
like,
hopefully
make the
that
game more
there's publishers out there
interesting
that's
and
looking
add
at
more
this
challenge in the game. How
that
do
say,
we do
hey,
that?
look, you know,
It's hard to balance.
maybe we might need to back off on some restrictions that we normally have for some of these,
Another
for some of these games that we're going to be coming out in the
Are there
future.
any plans to
And start
completely
listening to them,
separate
because
PvE
the developers
and
are really the
PvP
closest
balancing? I know you
ones
guys
to the
are capable of
fans,
adjusting
and they
the damage
read and
weapons
they
in
hear
PvE.
these comments all the
Do you
time
feel
of
like
what
there's
gamers
a
really
need for
want.
that
So
separation? Is there
I
a
don't know.
reason why you haven't?
It's a win for Bungie, though, for
I
sure.
imagine
I'm very happy
if
for
there is not going to be a separation, it's probably related to the same reasons you guys have been giving in the past. Your thoughts?
So a thing that we've always thought was super important for Destiny is that you have a single Guardian with a single kit and set of abilities that you can take everywhere. We give you a bunch of different experience, whether it's like raid experiences or strike experiences or PvP or just more casual like free roam, and that you're the same Guardian playing in the same way. And a thing that I think we do pretty well is our shooting and our like gunplay feels good. And part of the reason why it feels good is that muscle memory of like just the same expectation of seamlessly going from your brain into the controller, like into the bullet. And that requires a level of consistency across the board. That doesn't mean that
now,
shooting
Mega,
a thrall
when
in
you
the head
did play
is gonna take
Destiny,
the exact
like,
same bullets as shooting
correct
a
me if
Guardian
I'm wrong,
in the head.
the
There's
highlight
some variance
was
that we bake
the
in, some
gunplay,
balancing
right?
that we do. But we
Oh
don't
yeah, the
wanna- we
highlight
don't
was
wanna
the game,
split
was the
them
game, was
because we think
gunplay,
if we do
and
that over time, it's gonna
you know, I
cause
always was impressed by the
to lose
game
that muscle memory,
graphically.
that feeling of a single Guardian.
You know, and
Yeah, we
I
want you
liked
to
it,
go
the
into any
grind
activity and, like, you know, I play
aspect of it. I know a
Crucible
lot
and
of
I get
people
a
said they
gun
didn't, but
and
I
kinda
kind of
wonder, like,
enjoyed
what
Well,
that.
dude,
So-
you beat Assassin's Creed
optimized for
Odyssey,
every
right? You
activity.
gotta
Right.
like the
Even
grind.
Yeah,
today,
and
we
Origins.
do
Yeah,
balance
no, I like the
separate
grind.
parts of the game differently.
I like the
We want you
grind.
to
So
build a
yeah,
loadout that's
it's
customized to
yeah,
the
no,
challenge
but
you're trying
I enjoyed the
tackle.
grind. But yeah,
We
no,
also
those are
don't
the
wanna
things
go
that I
so
liked
far
about it.
that
It's
you
just
feel like, oh, I'm just
I
gonna
got
never
lost with the
participate in
first
part of the
one
game. It's
because the DLC just had me
I'll
confused.
take it
I mean,
easy on you guys on the next question.
there really wasn't too much story in the first one for what
Let's get a little business
I
out of the
played
way.
on that.
Is
and
Forsaken and
then
the
when I
annual
tried
pass
to
getting
come
a
back,
price
once I got
drop?
all the
Do I need them to
DLCs,
play Shadowkeep?
then everybody else was
so
way
what we were
way
doing
past
starting
me.
today
And
is
then
that,
there was people that
everything
didn't
that
even
we
want to
released
play
in
with me,
Destiny 2 up until
or
now. So
there
base
was people
Destiny
that
2
was
game, the
taking all of
expansions,
the
Forsaken, and the
perks,
annual pass.
so
That's
I
all
couldn't
being
build up
bundled
my
together
character. So
and dropped
I
to
kind of got
just
tired with that
$4.
with one, and then with
That's
two,
starting today. But we
you know, I
don't
wanted to
wanna
give it a
require
chance, but then I was
any
kind of
of
like,
that
man, it's
content
just
to
way
play
too
new stuff
far
like-
gone. And then,
like
like I
Luke and
said,
Mark said
Blades hooked
earlier,
me up with
we
it.
want all of our
I
expansions
promised that I was going to
moving
beat the
forward
story. I
to be
did,
simple
and I
and à la
actually
carte.
liked
So
the
if you
story. I
like-
thought it was
if you like the
cool,
stuff that we're
even
showing
though
off
I
in
thought the
Shadowkeep,
big grunt
you
was
can just
cheesy.
go and
But
click purchase. You don't have
other
to
than
hit
that,
dedicated thing, like, wait, which pieces of
but the
content
game
do I own
itself
and which
was
of these 11
overall
SKUs
really
should I
good. I
buy?
love the
And it's the
customization
same
and all
thing for
that.
recommending to your
But
friend,
then we went into
regardless
that
of
whole
how much
situation
Destiny
again,
they've
trying to
played,
get
what they own,
to
it's all the
that
same
level. I
entry point,
got
just
there. We
picking
go
up
into the
Shadowkeep
raids,
for
and
35
then
bucks.
we're mooching them, and then it
$35.
just,
So
and that's when I first met
keeping
Knox,
sort
and
of that
then it just
seasonal
all things went to
pace
hell after that, and I was like, oh,
content. Is that a la carte?
That was not a good
gonna
night for the
also
raid,
apply
man. That
to
shit was glitchy as
seasons?
hell that
Yeah,
night.
so we want the
like,
seasons to be a la carte.
It was
because
bad. It's not
there
like
were a lot
that
of
all the
things
time.
That
I just wanna
I
let you
like
know.
personally about the annual pass, but
You know,
asking people
to have
to
such
pre-purchase
like
$35 up front of a
prestige
year of
event
content
where
when we
you
didn't
have
even
to
announce
get
what the
like
name of
5
some of the
other
seasons
people
were, I
together,
think
and you have to
is
all
not as
coordinate
cool as
and
it could
stuff
be.
like
Like
that.
it's better
They
if you
should
just
definitely have
you can
it
wait
working
and once you watch the trailer,
flawlessly.
once you hop
You
in
know
and
what
see
I'm
some of
saying?
the content,
I-
you
right, and the
decide
pressure
if
was
you want
on
it.
because I
So
mean
each of the
we
seasons
had
will be
to,
available.
you know, I had
But
to
we
be
also
quick
wanna
on my
make sure
toes
if
because
you-
y'all was
if
telling
you
me
jump into
things that I had
Shadowkeep,
no
we're not
idea what to
immediately putting
do,
our
but
hand back
you
out
know,
asking
but it
for
was
more
really
money.
good
So
because of the
Shadowkeep is gonna
whole
give you
that
season
everybody
8 or
had to
whatever
work
season
together
it is
in
starting
order to
currently,
get to that certain
for
point.
free as part of
But
that.
then to
So
do
if
it,
I
and then you get to the
buy,
end, and then it
if
kept
I buy
glitching.
Shadowkeep
I was like,
in,
you
like,
got to be kidding me,
January
guys!
of season 10
You
or
got
whatever,
to be
I
kidding
would
me!
get season 10 as
Oh
well.
Just get
man,
that season.
but no,
So you don't have to
but yeah,
get
this
the
has
complicated
definitely
question
got
about
me
which
a
part of this
lot
premium
more
content,
intrigued.
like, do I need to buy? Just
I'm
jump
really
into
excited
Shadowkeep
about
and you're gonna have
it,
everything.
actually.
Or you
to be
could just
honest with
decide
you.
to
I
get
was
season
not
eight.
expecting this.
Yeah, like, and I was gonna ask you that because you came in, like you said, you came in to
I
hang
guess
out with
that,
me.
that kind of covers
We,
that question.
we haven't talked
let's
a
go
lot,
to another
you know, in
kind
the
of
past, like, you know,
hardball.
I'd say week and a half.
The
or
community
so, you know.
kind of
we didn't have a
laments the
show
loss
next
of
podcast
things like
last Saturday.
new strikes,
Yeah, I
new
didn't
PvP
care
maps,
last,
and
but Saturday
otherwise
before that,
new
my daughter's
additions
graduation.
to
Yeah, so.
what they would consider
but,
staples of the Destiny
this
experience.
definitely. So
how
what you're
valuable
hearing
do you
right
think
now,
those things
kinda
are
caught you
compared
by
to making
surprise
new
in terms of
activities?
this game?
And are we we ever going to see?
Yeah, no,
stuff
it
like
definitely
strikes,
caught
new
me by
PvP
surprise.
maps,
I was
and
ready
that
to
kind of stuff
hit up
return
Don and say,
outside of
man, you know what I
expansions
just seen, because I didn't know Don was going to be on watching this.
You
I
see
was
with
like,
new
nah,
light, like they're going
man.
to
I
be
go
the
in there, I
entry
say, I'm
point that we
going to help
want to
out
get all
Bot,
players
check it
into and
out. I'm
playing
like,
together. So they're
yeah,
really important for us. And the
talk
team has
cool,
big
not get
lists of
Bot
things that
upset
they
too
want to
much.
do. We
But
tried
I'm
some
over
of it in the
here,
past,
but
like for season
man,
6,
this
we
is
did a lot of Gambit quality life
this is
updates,
cool.
and there was
This
new
is
maps
cool.
for it. It's just, again, the challenge with
This
a
is
game this
cool.
wide
I want to give a shout
all
out
the
to
time.
Alan
And
Roberts
so we're
real quick.
definitely
He's like,
focusing
man,
like
Bot,
season
you're
8.
not talking to
We're
me
coming
today.
back to the Crucible.
No, brother,
like, we
I am
know
talking to
we
you.
spent too
I mean,
long, like we haven't done enough
I'm here
for
with
it. We had
my
a lot of
brother
commitments
Mega
with
as
Daniel
well,
Pass
though.
1, but now we're coming back, and
we're
I think
checking
over
this
the
out.
we
We're
might not
checking out
answer all
Destiny
the
2, and I
all
gotta
the ritual
say,
game in
I have
every
a
single
smile
season,
on my
but over the
face
course of a year,
because of
we're
K
probably
Mega's
gonna touch a
reaction
lot of
going
different
on
parts
right
of the
now.
game.
Right. I hear you
Yeah.
guys.
Now, the one
I'm
thing
sure
else
you
that I
through
know that
Twitch
they
chat
talked
stream.
about it, I
Ask
mean,
about PvP.
I was over there jabbering a lot, but
I got it. It's here.
I do
It's for a
hope,
different
I
person,
seen that
but
they were
it
talking
is
about
here.
the
Don't worry.
PvP.
I got you guys.
That's something that I always thought that was
another
the
thing I wanna
most
say, though, is, like,
lacking in the game was that.
We tried to change up our
So
formula a little bit
hopefully
with
that
Annual
they
Pass and with the season
they
model over the
definitely
last year,
implement
where if you remember,
more
before when we did
within
DLC,
that. that because it just seems shallow compared to everything else within the game. So, you know, I know that they talked about it, didn't hear too much of what they said, but yeah, but if they buster that up, get that more, they get that more to be kind of like the other experiences that you would play, like with, you know, Halo, stuff like that. You know, add different modes within that. I think that would be fantastic.
Yeah, and for example, like I think we underserved when PvP it comes in the last year. That was a mistake with how we found out the annual pass, and we're gonna correct that starting in season 8. And then
I
we want to
gotta
walk
say,
around and touch all the other pieces
really,
of content.
from the first time playing Destiny.
So would you say that there is a chance that we'll see like a new strike throughout the year?
It's just that there comes a point in time where a certain weapon
we haven't planned out exactly what's in each one of our seasons, but no type of content is off the table. I mean, like, I kind of want to throw it back to you. Like, what do you think
more times
the
than
seasons
not,
are missing right now?
Yeah,
keep
I
getting
mean,
like
again, it
headshot,
just
and you're
kind of
gonna be
comes
like,
back to one of
bye.
those
It's gonna be
staples
like,
of
you know,
the
such
Destiny
and such
experience. The
killed
game
you,
has grown
and they show
very
the weapon,
wide
and it's constantly
and just
that
not
weapon.
very
Constantly
tall,
that weapon.
which
That
is
can be really annoying.
something you guys are
I think
addressing
if they're gonna
in
create
Shadowkeep.
metas,
So I
have
think
a
the
couple
community
of
would
them
definitely
out there
like to see, you know, some strikes
you
come
know,
back, a couple
kinda
PvP
do
maps,
the
even
same
like
amount of damage,
remastering some
because
Destiny 1 maps, right? Bring back
the
you
meta
know,
last season was something called the
Rustlands
Luna's
and
Howl.
whatever else
It was a
people
hand
want,
cannon,
Twilight
right?
Gap and all that.
And to get that hand
So I
cannon,
think people
you
would
had to
absolutely love to see
grind what they
that.
call competitive
I guess final
crucible.
question for you guys.
All right,
Do you
and get to a
worry
certain
about
level.
being able to produce the volume of content you
I think it
produced
was
this
Mythic
year
or
without
Legend.
the help of
It was one of
Activision
those. It
and
was
the other
a
studios?
high tier level.
You know, because
but the thing is, when you go into
insatiable, you'll
competitive,
never be able to
if
make
you
enough
lose,
stuff
your rank
to,
goes
to
down.
keep people entertained.
And it was such a grind to try to get the
how do you
Luna's
guys feel
Howl,
about that?
and that was pretty much
they were
the
great
absolute
partners.
meta
Vicarious Visions,
in
Hammond
Crucible.
Studios,
I
they've
feel like
made
if they have a
ton of the
couple
cool
weapons
content
that
and
kind of
making the annual
to
pass
balance it out more, some that
I'm
are
really
kind of like
impressed by.
easier to get.
A thing that we did though is we knew that this was going to end at the end of the annual pass. So
Yeah, that does sound better because just from what you was explaining, it does seem like that would be a bore. Like that's just too much of a chore just to try to have, you know, fun within just a PvP. I wouldn't want to do that. I would try it, and then once I got frustrated with it, I'm like,
It's just us.
You know, but, yeah, you know, I mean, I do agree with that. If you add more weapons, you know, you have the main weapon. I guess you call it like you said, the meta, and then you have other smaller weapons that can at least make it easier for other gamers to go and get one and at least kind of even up the fight somewhat. Yeah, I think that would work a lot better.
Yeah, have just a couple different types of weapons. Like the Luna's Howl was hand cannon. So if you're into hand cannons, you're gonna do that competitive grind. You want that one. But make like an auto rifle like as consistent as the Luna's Howl, and have it like where you can get it in another space, like in stripes or something like that, and a little bit easier to get, and really kind of balance out the top tier of the Crucible, and I feel like it would be a lot more enjoyable
where people talk about,
but that's my opinion.
Not everybody knows everything that's going on.
Yeah, no, I can agree with that. I can rock with that. One question I'm going to ask you though is that because I've seen somebody bring this up again, was not in the chat, but
we also don't want to ask the team to
but on Mixer where they were saying, hey, like how much of the individual not seasons, but I guess they would be considered seasons. I guess how much would the individual seasons be themselves? Because I know that the other price for the other one is going to be what, $35
before we transition.
Yeah, and the season pass, if they're going to go
thank you guys very much for joining me.
You know, kind of like Forsaken and what they did there.
We're going to rotate here to
expansion was $40.
two new guests.
The season pass was like $35, so it's a little over $10 per season.
Excited to be here.
Claps all around.
If they do that and they just kind of split it up,
you guys are here
around $10
to
per
talk
season
about
would be my guess.
Something that I think
I don't
a lot
know
of
for
people
sure,
have wanted for the game, even though they maybe will not be engaging with it themselves.
And
like a
to
lot
me,
of
that's
veteran
not
players,
bad.
obviously.
Well, it's not bad, but I think the incentive that would be if you want them to buy the whole thing together. So it probably might go with that whole Call of Duty method where it's $15, $14.99 per, because like, you know,
I don't even know if there was anything.
I don't know. I don't think gamers would be too upset about that, but I think it's cool that they give that option. I know I see people on Mixer. Some of them are not too happy about it. They just rather that it's the whole thing, or they just give it out for free.
really excited.
And of course, you just can't have everything for free.
Yeah, I know. I mean,
So yeah, I mean,
that's the utopia right there. All content
Right.
is free
What that
all the
means
time.
is
Like,
right, yeah. Like, make games $20. Make games $20 with free content.
Yeah.
And but have them having the visuals of God of War, or Gears 5. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy what gamers be thinking, man. But I just, but yeah, no, I think it's reasonable to. I mean, if it's $10, I think that's a win. That's a huge win. But I think that the incentive is that they want that money to be. They want gamers to buy it in bulk. So $40, and then you would, $35-$40, and then each season probably be maybe 12 to 15. So I think that would be
seasons.
good.
Let's see.
You get access to strikes. You get access to all
12.
destinations. You get to free roam. You get to look for lost sectors.
The
you get
seasons,
to play all that content.
we had 3
that's
seasons
been
with
out there in the world that you've been playing a ton of, right?
You know,
For
the
free,
expansion.
which is really
you
cool
know what I'm
for
saying?
us.
I got
think that's
the
a really
expansion
exciting
plus the
change.
season
We're
pass.
Happy to have
Plus,
people
kind of
actually
like
get to experience
the
that
extra
content
package
we never have
and everything
before.
like
Absolutely.
that.
I was
but if
watching
you look at it, it's
Twitch
about
chat during the buy doc, and when that came up, I
3
saw
to
a
4
lot
months
of
new
is
content
this Destiny 1 remastered?
before the
and blah,
next
blah, blah.
season comes
Can you
around.
just clarify that it is
All
or
right,
is
so
not
$10
a
for
complete remaster of
you
Destiny
know
1?
3 to 4 months
It is
of
not a remaster.
new types of gameplay,
It is
new
not
types of
a remaster. It is like the
new
first
maps,
mission
new
is,
modes,
I guess,
stuff
remastered.
like that come
right?
around.
So you do
every
the first
season.
mission like
I
you're
think that's
playing
pretty
Destiny
good
1, and then you're just flown right to the tower. You land, and then
I'd buy that for
do
$10.
stuff.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah.
how do
I would definitely buy that.
You said you would unlock things over time, essentially. How?
Yo,
like, let's say
Abacab, I did
I'm
not
brand
check
new,
out
download
the
New Light,
Stadia live stream. I'm
do
gonna
the
have
first
to
mission,
see
land
that
in the
at some point
tower.
in time.
I want to go
I got
to
kind of
Mars.
a busy day. I still didn't
What do
watch
I got to do to go to
but I
Mars?
got to pick up
So,
Snaps later on tonight from the
one of our
airport
biggest
and
goals is
bring her
to
back
remove
home. That's like an
barriers
hour
from
drive each
what
way.
you're mentioning, so that you can play together with your friends.
So that's 2
You
hours
can do
right
that
there.
within
Like I got a
first,
busy
20
day. I
minutes.
gotta cook dinner and stuff. For
So
the
once you
kids.
land in the tower, as you're saying, the first.
But I'm gonna check it out. I'm definitely gonna check it
dive
out.
back a little bit for
as soon as I can.
the Cosmodrome mission. It's about 15 minutes or so,
all right.
and you'll learn the basic, elements of Destiny, how to shoot your gun and that kind of thing. But once you get into the tower, you can start playing Strikes. You can start playing Crucible. You can start playing Gambit. And for the destinations, we have a system that we're building that will unlock destinations over time, but it's not going to be very, very long. Right? One of our goals there is so that the world doesn't feel so overwhelming. Right? So we're not trying to like lock content. We're trying to make it ease players into our world.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine it can be very daunting just loading into the tower, bring up your map again. It's like, oh, there's 17 things here.
Yeah, exactly. Like,
what do I do? Yeah.
Yeah,
So the thing you were talking about there, where how do you get to Mars, right? You start after you do the Cosmo mission, you go to tower, and you
It's always
DZ,
cool
you
to
play that
see
for a little bit.
older guys talk about games or that's helped developing these games.
You'll quickly
when you have so many of these young kids that like to talk about
Wow.
why are you old and still talking about video games?
So
what makes your
what
video
kind
game?
of stuff am I
Yeah,
getting with New Light? Like,
the
can I go
seasoned
play
veterans are the
the
ones
original Destiny
making
2
the video game.
campaign?
You like that,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Seasoned veterans. We're
Can I
not
Yes,
play
gonna say
Osiris?
seasoned veterans.
Yeah.
Warmind?
Yes, easy.
I like
It's an easy
that.
question.
So okay, so go yeah.
Yeah. You can play all those campaign content if you want to. For us, we're making it optional, right? So back to the barriers kind of thing. We want, if you choose to.
I've
play
never
with your
played
friends
Baldur's
right away,
Gate,
right?
so
And if
I
you want
know.
to go experience.
Me neither, brother.
the
Me neither.
Campaigns of the past.
So,
you can
isn't Baldur's Gate on the same? It's the same as basically like Diablo.
Even like Leviathan?
I know that might be.
Leviathan,
I might get attacked for saying that, but I mean, it's the same type of genre.
You're gonna get
Can I-
death
can I
threats
go to,
on
like,
Twitter.
I know. I'm
and
probably
take shore?
Kill
Like,
yourself,
what's the
Mega.
limits on Forsaken?
So that's a little bit different.
King of the
as
A
far as
button.
Tangled
Don't know
Shore
about
and Dream
Baldur's
City,
Gate.
You can go there. We actually want you to be able to explore all destinations. So
Oh,
you mentioned that you'll
man.
unlock destinations over time. You'll see that Dream City, Tangled Shore, and actually the Moon as well.
Oh wow. Okay.
Shadowkeep, and you'll see all the destinations. You'll be able to play all that stuff. And
Yeah,
what will
Diablo
happen
3 is good. I
we're
really
giving you all
enjoyed
that
it. I went back and
access.
played it earlier this
But
year.
then
Matter of fact,
if you wanted to, like, say you play Shadowkeep and you really
It's
like
a lot
the
better
raid
than what it
content,
was when
you
I
really
first
enjoyed
played
the
it
way that feels
when
with
it
your
came
friends,
out.
or you really like story missions. If you want to go back and play the Forsaken story campaign or any of the Forsaken
Necromancer.
raids,
like Last Wish or
really
the Dungeons in Forsaken as well, then the Forsaken package is available to buy, and that's a separate thing.
Okay.
But all the destinations are available to you at all times.
So basically, if I want to go play like the meaty stuff of Forsaken, like the raids, the dungeon, the campaign,
exotic quests,
exotic quests, things like that, things that are the beefy stuff, I would need to go buy Forsaken, but I don't need Forsaken to go play Shadowkeep.
Correct.
Okay.
Okay.
Is there anything else you guys would like to add? Because I feel like we covered basically everything that I needed to cover.
It's a lot. It's a lot to talk about because as a new light player.
And with that new light thing, what I also like, but I don't know if they didn't really. I think they did explain it, but how I'm looking at it is that okay, for instance, I get that new light, right, and then I'm able to join and play with anybody. But I can also, at my own convenience, go and play the older stuff and build up that way as well. Can I not? Yeah. So like, I mean, that to me is perfect. They should have implemented that
what you guys did at BlizzCon was
when they brought out Destiny 2. Like, I mean, that should have been. I mean, that's a no-brainer. I mean, you always want to include people that maybe left and then came back, because there were so many gamers that complained and said that they were leaving and weren't coming back, and then they came back. And then, of course, when you got sales and things like that, people might be interested and want to play the game, but what kills it more than anything is that you don't have the opportunity to play with your friends because it was restricted because of your light level. This is perfect.
Level do I start?
And see when it's
sorry, let me clarify.
You come in and play like with
you have your character level, and then you have
it's more like
what character
like
level
they
do I
said
start at?
Gambit,
What power level do I
I
start
believe
at?
like Crucible, stuff like that. Like I don't think you can go into a raid like say the Moon that they're dropping in September. I don't think Mega you can come in with me to do the raid.
So basically, the
unless you have that pack,
as of right now.
Totally, yeah. But our goal.
Oh no. Yeah, you still have to buy the DLC. I mean, you still have to buy that season pass. I mean, that's still restricted.
Exotic quests as
for
well.
the beginning of the season, which I thought was also a very good idea. Helps people get right into it.
They were just talking about the Dreaming City. And you can come in with me to the Dreaming City. That's no problem. But when it comes to doing like the exotic quests that are involved in that, there's a dungeon in there, the raid that's in that
we have our
piece of
last
content.
guest here.
You wouldn't be able to join me on those things unless you had the
Right, well, and I think that's fair. I mean, you have to have the gamers who spent the money for the season pass to feel like to feel justifiable for them to spend that money. I mean, you can't just let the people that just say, "Oh, I got a new light, it's free, I'm coming to play." No, that would kill that in a minute. But
so angry.
Yeah, people would be pissed. So no, but no, I'm just saying in the sense of like what would make people want to buy more of those season passes, like people like me and others out there that's played it but hasn't gone through it like you guys have, is the option to where I know that I can join you guys if I buy the pack. I'm not held back by the light restriction like they normally did it.
I'm happy where we placed
so,
it. Was
yeah, that's great. That's real good.
One thing I can say that people got really heated about,
and I'm
just
very
within
happy
these
with
past
where we
3
placed
seasons,
everything.
because you could only get these
got
past
all
3
these
seasons
silvers
with a
and
season pass.
bronzes,
They
and
didn't
it's
sell
like,
them individually.
but a gold
And
one would be nice.
when it came to
One
Black
day
Armory,
to put on the mantle. So,
people didn't get
yeah,
into
we'll
it a lot
try
in the
next time. I
beginning.
think we
Like,
got a
it
really
was
solid
incredibly
squad.
hard. They time gated a lot of stuff that they kind of stretched out the content over that 3 to 4 month period,
Google Stadia,
where
because
you couldn't just naturally like get certain exotics and stuff. They time gated a lot of stuff.
You guys got away from Activision,
so that would have been like a season
really
a
go
lot of
on
people
your own.
would have skipped over.
Stadia going to have a
but
significant impact on the development of the game?
Joker's Wild, the season
like that.
that
There's a
focused
couple
around
types of
Gambit, a
development.
lot of
There's the
people
like,
really
so
liked.
the first thing, why Google? Like,
Right,
it's that vision
and
that
that would have been a lot. A lot of people would have kind of reinvested and bought that season.
World that you can play anywhere,
but you couldn't do that.
So
So now with them saying you can do that, you can buy
the next thing about impacting development
makes
creatively,
a
it's
lot
not
of
change our
sense.
creative. Like,
a lot
from
of
the
people were
beginning, we
pissed
tried to
off
make
that you
Destiny
had to
a game
buy
it's like
all
one
3 seasons
executable. Like we don't make
just
make
to get into the Gambit one, or just to get into this season of
development-wise,
opulence
there's an impact
that we're
because
in
we've
now.
taken a bunch of our talented
So
engineering team to,
I gotta,
stand
you
up-
know,
stand up
hats
city
off
this
to
year.
them
So, like,
for
there's always
acknowledging
trade-offs
that
that
wasn't a great idea.
we think
And
it's an
moving
awesome
forward, they're gonna
Alright.
let people buy them individually. I'm
For
pretty
the
sure there's
first
gonna be
time
a
ever,
discount
you
if
guys
you like. If
used
you're
the
like,
word
man, I'm just
MMO
ready to get all
to
the
describe
seasons that are
Destiny.
coming out
And
this year.
is it really
right
the first
now?
time?
The
I'm
first
pretty
time
sure
that
they're
I
gonna
can
bundle
remember
it up
publicly.
and give
yeah,
you a
yeah, at least
discount.
publicly. Because I can remember dating back to an interview
no,
that
that-
Adam
that
Sessler
definitely
did
makes sense.
with Destiny.
It's always great
and
for
he
the
said
game-
like
for the
they
gamers
very
to get
actively
options, to have
avoided the
options.
word MMO.
Nice, yo,
And
Jeff
so I
Zealot
was
in
very
the chat. What is
surprised
up,
to hear
brother?
that.
He
MMO
agrees
to
when
a
it
lot of
comes to
people is
Black
scary.
Armory.
You know, it's a lot of
Jeff,
grinding,
I will say
management,
that I went back
education.
in,
why
for
the
the whole
some of those things
Gambit,
in the game
Gambit
right now.
Prime,
Some grinding,
you
some
know, the
education,
there's
some
another
management.
drifter.
There's definitely some,
And
but
I went back
why
into
the
Black
change
Armory, and with
what are you
having
doing to
the
make sure
Gambit
that
stuff
Destiny
there
still keeps its
and
identity
the Black Armory
while
stuff there,
also
I had
expanding
a
upon
lot
the
of fun
systems that
doing both
MMO
at
or
the same
RPG
time.
players
It felt like
have come to want?
there was
you know?
content
So
there
Johnny,
for
Johnny Two
whatever
Sticks is like,
mood
I
I
just want
was
to shoot
in.
aliens.
Like,
Like,
if I really wanted
miss
to
me with the
grind out on a
spreadsheets,
horde
right?
mode,
So,
Yeah, so
I did the
we're gonna
Black
preserve
Armory.
like the
If I
core
really
action
wanted to
game
get
for
into
Destiny,
competitive
like
and
Johnny or
you know,
Jane Two
stuff
Sticks
like that, I
comparison
went
you're using,
into you
we're
know,
always gonna be
Gambit,
an awesome
Gambit
kinetic
Prime,
action
all
game.
that
Like
good
this is one of
stuff.
the things
So
that's just like culture.
I
here.
played them
we have an
both
awesome sandbox team.
as
We've
one
had an
season.
amazing group of folks who have built
And
a
it was
rad
good
action
there.
game.
But I
For
am really
us, the
excited
MMO
for the
language
future
isn't about
of
some of the
Destiny right
baggage
now.
that
I
comes
think
with
they
it. It's not
got
about the like subscription.
they
side
got
of
all
things.
their
It's really more
ducks
about
in a
how
row
does it
because they were
how does
talking
it
about
point the
the.
way
You
to
remember
where
they
we
were
need to
talking
go,
about
which
ducks
is
at the
that
beginning
deeper
of the
character
show.
customization, a phrase that we've used here
Mega.
a fair bit.
Oh,
over
you
the
oh, I
past
thought you
year.
were
So I wanna
talking.
get more
Yeah,
depth
yeah,
on
no,
the
I heard
character
when you
sheet.
said that.
Like,
Yeah,
when we
Yeah,
look at
and they
the
definitely
character
they have
sheet, even
all
post
their
the
ducks in
Forsaken
a row,
changes,
and
the character sheet still just
have
doesn't have enough depth on it.
a
And at different
vision
points
now
in the franchise's
moving
history,
forward.
like we're coming up on year 6.
That I think a lot of
it
gamers are
had
going to get
more.
excited
Like,
about.
when people were chasing,
Yeah,
you know,
no,
tier
you're totally right.
12 or whatever, and taking
Totally
King
right.
in Rise of Iron time frame, and those are the types of things that we
Wow.
want to start
This
with
is
and
over
bring
an
back.
hour?
But we think the future.
I
over
thought it
the
was only
long
going to be an
horizon
hour,
is,
brother.
is much brighter than
Yeah, they're
just
breaking
that.
it down.
Yeah.
And so then the next part of it is really the social fabric, and we haven't built the right things yet for the social fabric for the game, and we want to make it easier for players to play together, get into activities. There are all kinds of checks that I could like sit here and write that we haven't committed to yet, but improving the social game is a check that we're gonna fix over time. And I just want to like remind folks that when we talk about things like vision, we're not necessarily just talking about like, and all of this is coming this fall.
Right.
We're really trying to, you know, now that we can have that like open dialogue with here's where Destiny's going over time. Like here's where we're
Wow.
going on the long arc of
Yo,
the
Mega,
Destiny
did you catch that?
franchise.
He said
Yeah.
now
well,
that we
speaking
can
of
have
the long
open
arc of the
dialogue.
Destiny franchise,
Right.
Like they were shut the fuck
are
up
we
before.
going somewhere with this story? Because we started it already
like I
in
said,
like a
that's-
very
that's
obscure
the
like
fifth
what did we
shot.
just do? in
Yo,
the
I
Blind
know we
Guardian?
gotta
Like,
keep
what?
a
okay.
Activision
And then
shot
like
count
okay
on
now
this.
I
Orange
know, we should've
storyline
had,
and then
we
the
should've had-
Riven
we should've put
storyline
some
and
shots
then
every time that they said something
this
about
storyline and then this one and
Dude,
we
then I
have
wouldn't be able to pick
18
up,
different branches
Shaft
that
later on
all
today.
seem like they're doing the right thing.
that's
It
right,
seems like
yeah.
we're just
be
living
like,
in the
lady,
world of
please,
Destiny
gotta call
and
Uber,
maybe
man,
not
I can't do
experiencing
it.
like an overall
Yeah.
story. Like, is this all getting tied together?
It feels
at
a
some
bit too
point?
much like life rather than an arc.
It's like where are we going?
Brother,
So
this
we've
is
talked about
this
this
is my
a bunch
weekend.
internally.
Though.
Like
If
we
you
have
think
over the
about
years
it,
had
man,
kind
I'm
of like
getting
different
awesome
monster of the
Destiny
weeks
2
is how we
news.
described it. You know,
We're gonna
Dark
be
Below to
seeing
to
Halo
Dark Below
Infinite
Crota, Oryx. That was
this
all just the monster of
Sunday.
the week story.
Yes.
What
Oh
we're doing
my
this fall
goodness,
with Shadowkeep is,
man.
you know, we
I
did
can't
put
wait,
some
man. I mean,
arrows into
I'm
flight
kind
at
of
the end of
was,
Destiny 2.
you know,
Shadowkeep is the next
the hype
chapter
level
in that like broader universe
wasn't.
story.
I mean, I'm
we are gonna
hyped,
be,
but the
you
hype
know,
level
peeling back
didn't
some of
really
these
start
layers
kicking
over
in
time.
until today.
The thing that we're
'cause,
trying to
I mean,
make
I'm
sure we
leaving
do,
out
and
tomorrow,
we haven't
so
always
it's
done our
like,
best work with this, is feel like the universe is going somewhere. Like
D3
people want to feel like
again, and
what
like,
they're doing
it
matters,
is-
and that it's heading toward.
Just being there,
I don't
the
want to say a
experience is an
resolution
info,
or
everything
an
else
ending,
that-
because I
that
don't think
I've
Destiny's
been
heading
talking
toward
to
an
with-
ending,
with,
but
with
heading
other people,
somewhere
and
where there's
we're
going to be
gonna
joy.
try
Right, yeah, just somewhere where we feel
work
like,
together and then
oh,
just
okay, this is where that's all
knowing my
going down.
surroundings this time, because that was the
This
biggest.
used to be on my
that was the
list.
biggest
It is
thing
removed, but
last
I'm going
year
to
was
ask
that
it anyway.
I didn't know anything.
Trials?
I didn't know where to go.
Question
I didn't
mark?
know what.
So the thing we
what
talked
to
about up
expect,
front
what kind
is,
of
I'm glad
people
you
I was
asked.
gonna be around,
I think
things
that if
like
you didn't
that.
ask
But
about
now
trials, that
knowing
would have been bad for us, and
everything,
really bad
all of
for
my
you. 'Cause if you don't ask the
surroundings,
questions
places
that
I'm
your
finna go,
community wants to
Because
know.
PvP for the last year has been, here's a
I'm
new
really stoked,
comp
man.
weapon
Really stoked, and I
that's
do
just
feel
been
like
easier to
it's
get, and comp is
really-
pretty bare bones,
Well,
and
brother,
PvP has been
hold on.
or has felt
I've been hearing
neglected over the
rumors
past
that,
year, and I gotta ask about
2023
trials.
might
So
not be in California.
what we're doing in season 8 is we are looking at the playlist structure, and we're going to made changes
haven't
to the
heard
playlist
anything
structure,
about
and
that.
we're going to talk about it.
Can you imagine if the first time
crappy
like, I'm
metaphor
going, because
for
you
the
know
way
I
I'm
said
thinking
I'm
about
going to
this is
E3 next year.
we have like some additions
All
we want
right.
to make to the house.
Can you
but first
imagine
we've
if they
gotta, like,
decide
rip
that
the
they're
house
going to
and
do
repair
it
the
in
foundation,
New
and
York
we've got like
City?
work to do and maintenance to do.
Oh,
and
that's just right down the street.
We have to do more.
That's
for
right.
you
And
than,
then I got to get back down to doing.
for sure.
That's the same
I think
situation.
that
I
a
just
bunch
know
of
the people that's going to be there.
when I watched the
That's
raid
gonna
this
be
week,
right
I saw
there
the
with
comp
you,
weapons getting a lot of play. So they are certainly motivating acquisition. And they're delivering a power fantasy. I think those things have been pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean,
I know that I know people love trials. I certainly love trials. There was a debate as to whether or not I should wear one of my now defunct Lighthouse Tour shirts.
Dude, I can take the train
and I
over
think it's
there
the type
and be
of thing
there
that we
in
love
an
it.
hour.
What we're trying to do with Destiny, and this is gonna tie in maybe if you try to decide
still
to
have
ask
to. I'll
another
still be
question
the
about
same
what we're trying to do with
distance. The flight
Destiny
will probably still
going forward. Like
cost
the
about the
total
same.
plan, aside
Yeah,
from
dude, you're right in the middle of the country, man.
be the ultimate
So I mean, can we have an E3 in Texas, please, so I can just drive or take the train?
That would actually be a great idea. Texas
we gotta repair the foundation.
Let it be known that I tried.
Stuff like that, man.
Valiant.
That would actually be a great idea.
For that, I'm giving you. This is a hardball question, but I'm gonna role play. Okay, you're gonna be Luke, and I'm gonna be mad on the internet. TM.
I think they're information today or tomorrow.
How are you gonna respond to people in Twitch chat who are gonna say?
You still seem like Data right now, though.
I know. Yeah. Okay. I'm always mad.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, that's a bummer, but I still will be.
You guys are reusing old assets to refresh the game under a major expansion. We already been in the moon. Forsaken had Dreaming City. Dreaming City was crazy, and they had Scorn, and then Taken King had Taken, and we went to Dreadnought, and now we're going back to the moon, and we're fighting high. Like, what do you say to those people? Recycled content, by the way. So you say that.
I know that you talked to Ben and Catherine earlier, and I don't remember if they exactly talked about when we take something like a planet and bring it back like the moon, we're going to update it to the latest context and change the world. And there's a bunch of cool Easter eggs coming out of the shadows. But the other thing that I want to address here with your question is how does something like bringing Destination back fit into the overall vision?
One thing I will brother, you know me. When it came to the PlayStation, I felt like
we have this
the
opportunity
first-party
as we continue
games,
to
the ones that were really close
this content
to the
war
Sony
chest,
kind of like
to update these things, bring them back.
There were
ways.
there was like the
not,
Sony
it's not
blueprint,
coincidence
third-person shooter,
ended different things with references
camera
to
over
things
the
that we've
shoulder,
done before, or
even
like some
using very similar graphics engines
had
and
a
stuff like
reference
that.
to a classic
My
raid.
only concern
we
for
really are looking at the
Ubisoft right
backlog
now,
that we're
it
building
seems
and
like
thinking
every
about what the future
franchise
of
that
Destiny
they're
looks like
doing
and how we're going to be able to
has
leverage that
open
backlog
world,
going forward. And the moon is kind of us
third-person
dipping our toes in the
view.
water to see how it feels.
It's
And
like
it's also us
they have the
taking an
Ubisoft
awesome stab at what does it
and they're
mean
just
to take
putting
a
that
place
blueprint
that we've been
into
to before
different
and update it
environments,
into
like
a new
ancient
context. And it
Egypt
was
or ancient
the origin
Greece,
of this
and then
actually.
after Brexit
some of
in the
our
future,
super talented artists here.
I want to see them do
they're
different
the
types
lighting
of
engine
games.
for D2, and they relit the moon, and they just sent like a couple screenshots over to Mike Zack and
I'm thinking that they'll reveal. I think that they'll happen. I think that they'll happen.
This is
this
looks awesome.
But
and we just get excited about that stuff. We see it, and then the team gets their hands on it, and they get excited about it. And then there's this. It's like a cat and mouse
I'm
ball
not an insider. I don't know.
The moon's
so I'll just go ahead and say it. I
it's
think
the thing like
either
haunting
it
us in
will
the
be
sky. Like you look up at night,
Prince
and
of
you see
Persia,
it, and the opportunity of Destiny to go back to a place
and I know that they're saying that there's no Splinter Cell, but I think that they're trolling the hell out of people. I think it's either one of those two games that's going to be.
I got one more question.
At the very end,
I assume you're going to be asked this at E3 anyway, so I'm just going to ask anyway.
So, if they make Splinter Cell, I want them to make it more linear.
Because I think some people are surprised.
I don't want an
Destiny
open
3
world.
is not coming.
Because then again, it's the
this
third
time
person.
around. Are we going to keep Destiny 2 and just keep stacking on expansions? Do you want to make a Destiny 3? Is there anything on the horizon? Anything? Because I'm sure that's super far out, and you can't say much. But if you got anything,
anything that we're going to do beyond what we're talking about today is super far out. And like right now, we've really recommitted the team to Destiny 2, the next chapter of it's this fall. We've got plans for where we're going to go with Destiny, and there's a bunch of stuff that we talked about here that we've got to deliver on. A thing that I will say about the future of Destiny is that vision that we outlined is going to be true.
I love what they're doing with Assassin's Creed.
Like we are making
and then
an
of course
awesome action
with
MMO
the
in a
vision,
single evolving world that you can play anywhere.
They
and
really,
that's what
you're
we're
right. They
gonna
don't
be
really
doing.
need to.
Are you? Did we exhaust your list?
I think we got like one or two more, but I don't think we have time to cover them.
Yeah, the clock is at 0 and beeping.
Yeah, it's angry at me.
And so
go away with that. Go with
before
that.
we go,
If they do
there's one last thing I want to
which,
talk about,
you know,
which
some
is,
people might say that, well,
behind
you got
us
Assassin's Creed, why would you
is an
Prince of
amazing
Persia?
team
But
here,
you can
and
still
we
have
only
Prince
got to
of
look at a
Persia
few members of the
like
team
it
today and a
used to
few members
be
in the
for the
Vidocs, but the
single-player
Bungie team is
experience.
so much
And
bigger
I
than
think
just the
either
11
one of
people
those would
or
work.
so here at the
And
company.
then, of course, Watch
They are,
Dogs
like,
is
to
in
show
that
up.
same
They're
category as
doing
well
an
because
amazing
it's
job.
open world, more modern.
They're doing an
modernized
amazing
game.
job,
So,
and you know
so yeah,
they're working
it would
so
be
hard, and
good for them to
everyone
have
here
at
loves the game,
least,
and we're trying to make the
one
best
of
game
those
that we
two
can.
games being
And
a
so
single-player
I just want to make sure that we
experience
acknowledge the team
just,
real quick. I want to
like,
thank everyone for
do the
tuning
things,
in.
you know,
Thank you
just
so much
changing
for
up the
taking
mold.
time
Do you
to spend
see?
it with us.
You see where
I
I'm saying?
thank
Like
Data
I've been
coming
consistent
in.
on the whole
No
Sony
wounds
side of
problem.
things, and
It's
just
okay with
because
second place.
the company
Before
isn't
we go,
Sony, you know, it doesn't mean that
before we
my
go,
my
we're gonna
thoughts are
take
going to
one
change.
last
And I
look
feel when
at
it
the
comes
trailer
to
for
me
Shadowkeep.
personally, Ubisoft is walking a fine line with me. In terms of kind of just doing the same types of games
always
in different
brings us
environments.
back to the
They
past.
brought back the showing the trailer again.
I'm watching it again, like deep, man. I'm
Can
like
you
right
feel
next to my
them?
TV.
I can still hear their voices. Their endless torment reshapes our moon. Nightmares now stalk the surface. Walking shadows, seeking vengeance. Our old fears, they rise again. And in the dark below, something wicked
Telling you, something wicked is awakened. It's pain.
has awakened.
No, it's the darkness, man.
It's the darkness with pain.
We must bring an end to this suffering. One way or
telling you, man.
Ooh.
Telling you.
We must create an end to the suffering one way or another. Woo!
Yeah, it was impressive. Yeah, but no, this 3 is, yeah, this is the best time of year. This is the year. And this is our actually play some of these games that haven't even been announced yet. Oh man, and also big shout out to the people at E3, man. It sold out. I remember my old lady, she was telling me that she was getting always in her email those hey, buy tickets now. She said like earlier this week that they stopped doing it. So I was like, oh, and then of course yesterday that report came in that they sold out. So that's pretty awesome. So, you know, the gamers have spoken. Good
Yeah.
deal.
All right, man. Well. First off, again, huge shout out to everybody who hung out with us. Basically, I'm gonna do this real quick because, like I said, I got a lot of stuff to do. I want to hear Mega. Like, what did you get out of this live stream? What are some of the things that kind of stuck in your head, thoughts and opinions wise, moving forward with Destiny 2?
Well, I mean, the Shadowkeep, that looks very interesting. It's perked my interest. I really, of course, the big thing was the new light, including people like me who hasn't been fully in depth into the whole lore of Destiny, but been wanting to play with my friends. So, you know, I could get back into the game, and that having that option is fantastic. And of course, the saves where you could just take your character anywhere. That is the win of that. That's the win of the day. So that, you know, back, in my opinion, Destiny is really set the tone. And you know, look, I apologize, Bungie. I was thinking that Destiny was on its way out the door, but like I said, I had to eat crow because Destiny is actually Bungie is taking Destiny and actually, you know, solidified itself as being a game that's going to be here for quite a long time. And
nice.
To the progressions of everything that they're going to be doing in their vision, and now that they have the freedom to do the things that they want to do, sky's the limit for them, man. So kudos. I'm very impressed.
Nice. Yeah, and for the hardcore Destiny people out there, Eris Morn is back. what they're showing about like when it came to the Shadow Keep, the darkness is resurrecting past raid bosses, all sorts of enemies that a lot of guardians out there thought they were done with, right? And with saying that, like they brought up Crota's name, which is from Destiny 1, and they're like, yeah, you would think that you would just have to go in and beat Crota again, and there's nothing to that. But they're like, you might want to think twice because they are rehauling this whole thing, and they are bringing the pain basically. When it comes to cross saves for my brothers out there, like Mega over here, Knoxximus, Mooch. Knox goes between Xbox and he goes between PlayStation, and he has Destiny clan members that play on both platforms to be able to bring your guardians over, especially for him, and to get stuff done within his clan. Um, you know, from platform to platform is absolutely huge. Shout out to Bungie for getting that done. Again, and shout out to Sony for, because when this all first came around, Sony was not about it. But instead of what they did with kind of like the music industry and CDs and stuff, and they're like, no, we're not going to change, we're not going to evolve. They learned from that, and it seems like they are definitely kind of like changing with the times, at least with this game. So you got to give them respect. Shout out for seeing that the future might not be exactly what you thought in the beginning, but adapting to it and kind of like moving forward with the industry. At least with this game, we got to see what they do. Moving forward into like the next series of hardware and stuff in terms of options. But all in all, I feel like Destiny has a huge kind of like player base. I think there's a lot of excitement going on right now. Of course, the season of opulence is going on right now. A lot of people that I talk to who are into Destiny are absolutely loving the new content. I know I am as well. And Bungie's in it to win it, man. They are planning on being around for a while. They are not kind of like anchored by Activision anymore. They have a lot more freedom to do what they want, to put out the vision and the game that they want to put out without any type of restrictions from a publisher that might have a different ideology. Mega, just one last time, man. How huge is it that Bungie was able to break free from Activision and buy the publishing rights back for the Destiny game and move on independently?
That was huge, and like I said earlier, that I think that if anybody that was watching this from Activision, just to see what they were going to do, they just got slapped in the face with reality that these developers been listening to the people, and they had a game plan and they were ready to make this move, and it's huge, and it also kind of gives it again Destiny or Bungie is saying, look, we got the taint off of us from Activision, and it's really not our fault for why you didn't get the things that you were really wanting from the game. It was the publisher, and then it was also maybe partially Sony, but mostly it was all Activision, and we weren't the ones at fault because we wanted to give you gamers what you asked for. So yeah, that's huge. That's huge, and that's going to let a lot of, I think that, like I said earlier, that's going to leave a lot of publishers out there that needs to be paying attention to this, because if you have a successful title and these games have the opportunity, these devs have the opportunity to maybe break camp, which a lot of them probably won't, but if they decided to, that they can still thrive as long as they listen to the fans, and the fans will keep supporting.
Nice, nice. I mean, this is a great start to E3 weekend. I am pumped. I know Mega, you're gonna be out there in Cali living that gamer life, right, brother?
Yes, man, I cannot wait, man. The juices are flowing now, man. I'm getting real excited now. It's just less than 24 hours away from me being on the plane heading out there to LA, man. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited, really excited.
Nice. Now, I do have to ask because we are signing off, and like a 40-year-old with a comb over, we're gonna get those plugs in. I got to ask you. You are a YouTuber. You are a gaming YouTuber. dude, do you have any plans for content to hit your channel while you're in California, while you're at E3?
Yes, I will definitely be having content. We're going to be doing some things with the GRG is going to be linking up with the Iron Lords. We'll be doing an well, Xbox after show. We'll talk about what all we've seen, what we thought about it, all that. I'm going to be just hitting up Twitter like crazy. Try to get some other stuff on my channel. If not, then it'll definitely be a lot of stuff that I'll be bringing on to my channel after I come back. But I'm definitely going to be just hitting people up, letting you guys see me in action, see the big man in action out there. Maybe find that same person that was playing Soul Calibur and maybe getting some revenge on the next game out there. Whatever, but I'm definitely going to be showing some stuff out there. And yeah, so go and support the channel, K-Mega 405. And man, I'm going to be hanging out with all types of people, and it's going to be the GRG family out there, man. So support, no doubt.
Nice. And of course, in any of those grab bags and stuff like that, you get any cool Halo stuff, Halo Infinite stuff, you know where to send it, right?
Oh, yeah, indeed. I'm going to be looking for something for Lady Foxfire. She was over there asking for a pop. And so if I see that pop, I might go ahead and get it for her.
All right. Well, first off, I said Halo, and you brought it to Gears and Lady Foxfire. I was talking Halo and Xbox. Like, how did you swing that over into a different direction, man? I don't appreciate that. Yeah.
She's a lady. You're a guy. I mean, if I find something, I might consider it. I mean, I've been knowing you for so long. It's kind of like you like family, so you really don't do shit for the family. Anyway, no. No, if I find something for real, man, I'll hook you up, man. I'm sure there's going to be all types of swag just being thrown.
Yeah,
around.
I'm saying like they put those bags together. You're going into conferences or whatnot. If they have something cool in there, just think about your boy. That's all I'm saying, man.
Hey, man, I might find that rainbow that rainbow by Kratos. So if they have that out there, you know what I'm saying, I might go ahead and hook you up with that.
Yo, I'm done. I'm done. Yo, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. We saw the future of Destiny 2. We saw a new expansion. We saw a new way that they are moving forward at Bungie with the new light and having people, able to go in and play regardless of light level, playing games like Gambit and getting into Crucible, stuff like that, and then being able to buy seasons individually was absolutely huge. Huge shout out to the community, everybody hanging out with us today. Thank you guys so much. If you haven't done it yet, definitely hit that thumbs up button. Hold on, let me put it up there. Hit that thumbs up button. All right, guys. If you enjoyed the live stream, not only that, if you haven't subscribed, definitely subscribe. There is going to be a live reaction to Xbox's E3 on this channel right here. We're gonna have Lady Foxfire. We're gonna have Yobi Dren. We are gonna have Mr. Positivity, Delirium Blades, and the Don. Along with Oh Snap It's Mel. It's a crazy panel right there. I think it's gonna be a good time. A lot of entertainment. And of course Delirium Blades. He's gonna be as positive as ever. He says this is his annual appearance on my channel because he's done this for the past couple years. So definitely be on the lookout for that. We're gonna do live reaction to Bethesda as well. K Mega said he's gonna be at Bethesda, so we got it. Yo, Mega, like when they pan out like the camera onto the crowd, we got to find some way for you to signal to the community where you are, man. I don't know. We got to think of a way to do that. And
I'll think of something.
We're think of something, man. You just have a big A button like light up.
Man, you know what? That's exactly what I need. I need to find something with a big A button, and I'll just throw it up in the air so you know it's me. That'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be crazy, man. But guys, again, thank you guys so much. I have a busy day planned. I gotta cook, I gotta clean, and I gotta be a O-Snap chauffeur. So with that being said, thank you guys. We will see you again soon. E3 weekend is upon us. I hope you guys are excited. I know I am. We will be talking about it soon enough. Have a great day, everybody.
Peace.